You guys can make fun of me and make all the videos you want about me. I don't care. Say what you want. Put all the videos out there that you want, because frankly, I don't care what you think. So go ahead, all you trolls. Make videos about this. Go and make all the videos you want. If you want to make videos about me, I just don't care anymore. I really don't care. I don't care if people re-upload this video. You can make fun of me all you want. It doesn't bother me.
Let me first play this disclaimer so you guys can see it. This way it's up for the public record. Disclaimer. Nothing in this presentation was obtained illegally. Everything you are about to see has been researched using public domains such as Facebook, YouTube, Google, and/or other forms of social media platforms. No family images, home addresses, and/or any direct information shall not be used unless it has already been publicly displayed on either Facebook, YouTube, Google, and/or public social media outlets.
Okay, I think we're working. Let's see, I can cam up here. Wait, I don't want that. No, we don't want that. Oop, no. Sorry, guys, I was running late. Oh, there I am. I was running late. I just got out of the shower, so my hair's wet, and I just put my headphones on. So now I'm gonna have really interesting hairstyle in like an hour. We should do a thing once my hair's dry. We should reveal my bad haircut. So yeah, I was running late, and I was playing with the set. I got another light. I'm getting real high tech, guys. I got another light on me because I noticed my green screen was getting a little weird. Although now that I look at it, see over here, you can see down in the corner. Don't like that. My OCD is gonna see my hand gets all weird. Well, it's a work in progress, guys. So anyway, so much to talk about. I was about to do something. Oh, I got to share the thing. Let's see. Oh yeah, so much to talk about. Wally is losing his mind. He's talking about the Civil War again. He's talking about Slippery Wet. Kevin just made a good video. He plugged Dogpile Thursday, which was great. And he also pointed out Wally's always talking about how it's the end of the world. We need to stockpile on pasta and buy ammunition. But then he'll make a video on how he's got 2 more Freddy gloves on the way and 4 more Freddy Krueger vests. And did you see my latest action figure? So he's sending mixed messages. It's kind of confusing. We don't know what's going on. But let me see here. I will share the stream. How do I do that? Share. No, invite. Copy that. Go to the chat. Oh, I don't see anybody in the chat. I'm getting nervous. Also, my nemesis, that scumbag, Maga Man, 2 minutes ago, he just released, he went live like 2 minutes ago. So I think he's trying to fuck with my audience, that son of a bitch. He's taken away, I was working on Bubblegum, something Bubblegum was a user, and Penny Pounder. So they're probably watching Wally. So curse you, Wally. Taking away my audience, or trying to anyway. We'll see. All right, there's the link to get in, and we will pin that up top. Again, guys, I'm running late. I usually like to have a tight ship going on, but not so much today. So there you go. Links up. No one's in the chat. 8 people are watching. So what's going on? I don't know. And we'll see what happens. So yeah, it was a busy couple of days. I should probably cut my lawn with my substandard lawnmower. I have a 55-gallon fish tank, and we're trying to get rid of it. So I'm like cleaning it up because we had a fish catastrophe. Like we were too aggressive cleaning the thing. We had these beautiful South American cichlids. There's South American cichlids and African cichlids. You can't mix them. But we had, I believe, South American. My stepson really kind of ran the show. But anyway, something happened. We cleaned the tank, and I think, something about the chemicals or whatever, but we wiped out, like, the whole tank. It was very upsetting, and my stepson was kind of like, enough with this fish tank business. So we're trying to get rid of this. So that's what I was doing all day. I was home all day, and I was cleaning fish tank stuff. And then I said, "Oh, it's getting late. I got a dog pile." So I just, like I said, I took a shower to get all ready for you jerks, and no one's here. But that's fine because I know like later on, unless they watched Wally's live stream. Let me pop over. I'm gonna look. Oh, another interesting thing is I figured out the last couple of shows I was kind of bummed because I had some technical problems. And I figured I thought it was my internet connection, but I figured out it was OBS Studio. So fun fact, all you tech nerds out there, OBS Studio is the stuff that makes me do all this green screen business or whatever. But I was like adding movies to it to play, and I was doing some, like the gags I was doing with my magic shirt and all that. But it turns out, even if the movie isn't showing, it's like playing in this OBS software. So long story short, I had like 40 movies running for the last, like 4 weeks, and my computer CPU was going through the roof, and I didn't notice it because I assumed it was my internet connection. But it was like the software was, even though it wasn't being shown, it was playing like 30, 40, 50 videos all at once, and it was killing my computer. And so I just had to clean up OBS. And everything's fine now, and my CPU's down to 22%. And long story short, I could play my videos without any problems. So that's going to be cool. We could a lot to go over. And I also have a backlog of Wally stuff because again I couldn't play some older stuff. So we'll chat a little bit, and then we'll fire up some of Wally's latest to discuss because I think he's kind of going south again. For a while, it seemed like he was getting it. Like he made that one video where he was the propane. I got banned. What's this all about? I got banned. I don't know who Bring the Chicken Nuggets is. Oh, you mean were you watching? Were you over at Wally's channel? and he yeah, I'm surprised. Nightbot probably. Chicken and nuggets are probably both in it. Chicken because chicken could be like, you chicken, coward. And chicken nuggets is definitely on the Nightbot, do not allow list. So with that screen name, I'm surprised you got anywhere near Wally's Terminator-like Nightbot shooting you down. But of course, everyone's welcome here. I don't block nobody for nothing. That's not 100% true. I think once Corey was in the chat. It wasn't Corey. Corey changed his name, and he said something creepy. I don't even want to give him like airtime, but that was the one and only time I quietly like killed somebody on the side. But Corey's just gonna keep. If I ban him, he's just gonna keep coming back. So I just kind of ignore Corey. Corey, behave yourself, buddy. Okay, you're a little creepy. Anyway, so yeah, Wally's getting a little bit worse. For a while he was. Oh, Slippery said he's going to be in a minute. Okay, cool. Yeah, Wally said, he when he was the propane king of the complex, he was like, I was out and people were talking to me and asking me to cook their food, and I was having conversations that didn't involve liberals and politics and how much New York sucks, and I actually kind of liked it, and it was like maybe he got it, like maybe you can't live in this world of politics and not go insane. But and even like in Slippery's last video where he plugged my show, he said that Slippery is very much like me. Like you curse Wally out, you call him an idiot because he is, but then you drop little like life like advice. That's good advice. And Slippery said like you shouldn't be hunkered down in the Bradley unit going crazy on YouTube. Like you're gonna go nuts, and it's all it's all doom and gloom. And while he watches the same handful of idiots on YouTube, he watches Maurice and Queen Mahat, which are like this extreme right-wing conspiracy theory. The liberals, it's their fault. Everything bad is the liberals. Everything good is Jesus and or Trump, and it's like this extreme worldview. And while he watches that, along with he watches, I forget her name, she's like the prepping mama, and I think she's from by me. She's upstate New York somewhere, and she's like, the stores are out of pasta. Why are they out of pasta? Because Joe Brandon is rounding up all the pasta. That's why the liberals don't want you to have all the pasta, and that's why so while he's watching those guys and he's combining it in his head, so now it's Joe Brandon, the Rainbow People, they're hoarding all the food. until you build a windmill on your front yard and don't drive a car, and then maybe they'll give you some pasta. That's what Wally, according to Wally. So I see Slippery in the back. Let's see, bada boom, bam. Okay, we're live. What's going on, man?
Hey, how are you? What's going on?
Good, good. I hear. Ooh, I like this is a
Can
new
you hear
setting.
me?
This looks. Yeah, I can hear you fine. This looks like you're in the. Are you in an office? Looks like your office.
No. I'm actually in the basement because my wife she complains. She says I'm too loud upstairs, so I've been banished
Yeah.
to downstairs. So
I like I like the boat in the background. I like that painting. That's a good painting. But I do like when you're outside, you can see your backyard, and you have an awesome house and backyard, and I think that must annoy Wally. So it's a shame that we can't be up there. But that's that's fine. Although I heard that body of water behind you is horribly polluted, and it's all your fault, of course.
I think that's plastic in the tree gave that information. Yeah. I guess. But it's not really polluted. It's sometimes overgrown, but there's a lot of fish in there. It's people fishing in there all the time. So I mean, I grew up out here as a kid. I went swimming in there, and I've swam in there. There's nothing wrong with me. Look at me, I'm fine.
Yeah, I think George Wally's he's a big fan of George Carlin, but George Carlin does a bit where he said he used to swim as a kid in the East River, and he says because of that he never gets sick. He was like, I never get a cold, I never get the sniffles. I'm hardened by Manhattan pollution, like from just swimming in the polluted East River.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, back in the day, I guess everybody used to take a dip in the Newtown Creek, right?
Yeah.
On the Gowanus Canal, we always had this joke around the office, that when they would bring, we would get some like Italian food, and then you'd get like linguine with clam sauce, and the clams would taste really bad. We say, oh, they gave us the Gowanus
Yeah.
Canal clams again. So
It's probably not far from the truth.
yeah, but while he's competing again, look, he's trying to draw your audience away.
I was like I said, I took a shower. I was running late, and I look at my phone. It's like MAGA Arby's live, and it was like 2 minutes before 8 o'clock. I was like, you sneaky son of a bitch. He took away. He probably took away. What's his name? My mind went blank. Penny Pounder. Penny Pounder said, "I'm not watching anymore." Sure, he's not going to watch anymore. But he's probably over there. And then there was
absolutely.
a bubblegum guy that was kind of like. He was like, testing the water on both sides, and he's probably over there watching right now. I was about to jump on, and then I saw you come on. Let me see. I got another screen popped up. Let's see what's he doing over there. See if he's got anything interesting. Governor Kathy Hochul epic meltdown because guns bad live stream.
That's his big thing about.
I see Joe Kerr. Joe Kerr is in the Kelly Ray. That's another one that he watches.
Yeah, I think he's another one from like that Queen Ma'at and that entire crew. Yeah. I mean, play on words. Joe Kerr,
Illusion.
Joker.
Yeah, Joe Kerr is over there. I checked out his YouTube channel. He's just like, hey, check out what I'm eating for dinner. He's like kind of tame. He's got like nothing interesting. I was hoping for another lunatic, but it was
yeah.
like kind of a normal dude.
They attract each other. But
it's a process. Sometimes Wally he tricks you. He like people are attracted to like he's kind of like this angry right wing guy, and I get that. But then like after a while they're just like, wait a minute, he's a crazy person.
But I made this like I think you mentioned it. I went into work this morning and I got on my bike and it's like a nice day and it's like let me just pull over here and like make something about Wally because I haven't made a video in a while and I really want to talk about him. And I mean, listen to his last couple of videos. It's always the same thing. Sky is falling, and you better prep. And I watched some of that prepping mama stuff, and she's like, "Oh, there's MG there." But it's like, "Oh, I went shopping, and this shelf is empty, and that and I go shopping I don't know where they live. I think she lives in upstate New York somewhere.
Yes,
she's somewhere.
Well, yeah.
And like there's everything there. I don't know what they're talking about.
What's going on, Hebrew? Yeah, sometimes you go to a store and it's like they don't have Pop-Tarts. It's like that's like, but people like Wally and the prepping mama are like, oh, Joe Brandon, he's hoarding all the Pop-Tarts. It's like
I love how we can't even say Joe Biden because he thinks the Brandon thing somehow gets around the goofy algorithm, right?
Well, also like the like dummies like Wally think the whole Brandon the Brandon thing was funny. Like the day it happened, but like It's not.
Yeah.
It's like their sense of humor is like awful. People like Wally. The sense of humor is like, look at the funny-looking person. That's as far as their humor goes.
Well, Wally's got all his Joe Brandon shit. He's like the guy, like I was in 1985 when I got a Ghostbusters shirt, and they were like, they were in for like 7 seconds, and then
but that's
afterwards,
like entertainment and fun stuff. This is like hatred. Wally's always like hatred. It's always you have to hate somebody, or he thinks he has to trigger somebody in order to like exist in the world. He can't just wear like a Star Wars shirt. It has to be fuck Star Trek. That's what he has to get. It has to be like hate.
I don't know what this thing. I mean, he's obviously reinvented himself. He was always a goofball, right? He always wore stupid costumes. He always wanted to call attention to himself, but he was never full of this like piss and vinegar. Like he's created this hate character that he thinks is popular, and I guess it is with some circles. But
that's fine if you want to do that. But when people call him out for his hate, he cries. He's like, "Why do people hate me? Like because you're doing this Maga Man, I hate everybody bit."
But like it's for people, I don't know what it is, but like no matter what your political stripe is, if you agree with somebody, you usually agree with them because they make a good argument or there's some reasoning in it or whatever. Wally's is nothing. It's just an empty suit. I mean, he's just always cursing and screaming and yelling and pounding his chest and huffing and puffing. And it never goes to any logical conclusion. Like today, he's all about the SCOTUS decision about the proper cause thing, and I'm sure he's having this big thing. But you know what the good news about that decision is? Wally still can't have a gun because it affects nothing to do with Wally because he can't pass the NICS check.
Can you conceal his whatever he carries? Is that like a thing?
No. What was he going to put his fucking Gamma Swarm Maxim in a trench coat? Like, how is he going to conceal that thing?
Well, if you listen, I actually want to watch it. It's like 5 minutes long, so I have it packaged up. But yeah, in that video, Wally's like, "Oh, New York allows conceal and carry, so maybe I'll go back to New York and we could reclaim the family courts." So
I didn't watch any
what
of
does
his
that
stuff.
mean? Yeah, what does that even mean? Yeah.
Hey, we'll fire it up. Yeah, his first like he's like, "Oh, it's legal now, so maybe we should go and
it's not legal.
Storm.
I wish it was. New York City's never going to let that happen. I wish.
You know what, HS? I know people that have New York City. I think it will. I think actually it will because look, if you think about it, I know a lot of people, and I don't know if you do or not, but I know a lot of people that live in the city that actually have premise permits because that's about as good as you could get as far as a handgun was concerned.
Right. But the city is. Listen, I've had a concealed carry for New York State since I'm 18, and the city was always its own separate entity. They limit concealed carry to a very finite amount, and you need basically 2 reasons to get it, right? One, you carry large sums of cash around, right? The problem there is then the IRS gets involved and says, "Oh, you have large cash. Where is that coming from?
Yeah.
What is that going to?" Right? Nobody wants to report that shit. And then the second thing is you have to claim that there are legitimate threats to your, to your life, that you're like real death threats.
Yeah, like Sean Hannity or Sean Hannity or Howard Stern. They all had concealed. Well, they all do or still do have concealed carry. Don Imus had it, but
then Wally should absolutely get one because he's a shock jock. He should
I just think funny enough, all the guys who work for B&H.
Nappy-headed hose.
They have all concealed carry permits. They have an in with the city, but you and I would never really get one legitimately. I wish.
No, I had a full red card concealed carry permit with New York City, and it recently was non-renewed because they got stricter with the permits.
Yeah, I thought you were all a bunch of fucking liberals. What happened here?
Well, that's the other thing Wally assumes in all his videos is like the laws only apply to like him and his people. It's like the rainbow people are now they have guns in their purses, Wally. Okay, so get ready.
Wally's all black and white, right? Like I would tell you on social issues, I am left leaning, sure. Fiscally, I'm conservative, right? If you want to define it as such, but those terms don't even mean anything. I have a brain in my fucking head.
They don't even go together. How do
you know?
Right, and that's where you make so much sense because Wally wants to package. Wally wants to package everybody and say, "Oh, he's this or he's that," label people. But nobody is, we're not all monoliths. We agree on different things and disagree on different things, and that's what makes the world go round. But when it comes to that whole SCOTUS issue. All the people in New York City, and there's a lot of them that have premise permits, right? So you can have a handgun in your house. Now, if all those people converted those to carry permits, it's not going to change a damn thing. Or if they allowed them to be converted to carry permits, it's not going to change a damn thing because those aren't the people causing the problems.
Right.
That's not the issue. You know what I mean? There's going to be some incidental things that happen if somebody carries it and they leave it in a bathroom, or it gets lost, or somebody rolls them and steals their gun. Those incidental things are going to happen, but it's not going to be a seismic shift in anything. And I think it's just being overblown. But Wally can't even discuss the whole thing in any kind of intelligent way, because the whole thing that he wrote is they overturned New York's concealed carry laws. No, they didn't overturn the laws. They made they struck down one piece of it, which that you needed a special reason to carry a concealed gun other than the public at large. That you needed, like you were saying, you need to either have death threats or constant threats or carry large sums of cash, and that was the only thing struck down. The process is still going to be the process, and you're still going to be thoroughly vetted by New York City and the state anyway. So
let me tell you,
it's not really that drastic a change.
2 years ago, I applied for my rifle and shotgun for New York City, because I was like, all right, the world may be going tits up, right? The Trump election, who knows? And they took my money. I waited for that. I'm waiting. 20 months later, I'm still waiting for my call to get fingerprinted. Right? It's just not happening.
Yeah, don't hold your breath.
I called them.
Because you're fucking mental.
No, I live in Suffolk County. I have a Suffolk County.
Suffolk
permit.
and New York City are two different gigs, man.
Yeah, no, I know. You're absolutely. No, but they're not really that different. But
New York City is very, very strict. I mean, New York State, right? You couldn't even, if I'm in Maryland, or most states, you can go in, you can look at a gun, you can buy a gun if you have a driver's license and a clean record. New York City, you can't even touch a handgun unless you can present a permit.
Right.
They won't even show you one.
As well. You can't even go into a Long Island gun store and say, "Hey, can I hold that?"
No.
Unless you show them your permit. But
you go in this store, you don't have a permit, and they just hit a button and everything's like. Can't see anything.
Plus, there's also that scene from Terminator where like Arnold takes the gun and then just shoots the guy with it. That probably ruined it for a lot of states. That one scene.
The whole thing lost in Wally's whole thing. He does, and I guess most people, because people that don't follow it and aren't gun guys wouldn't know. But New York didn't start becoming a liberal anti-gun state. When Joe Brandon got elected, this law that made it restrictive is a Sullivan law that's been around for over 100 years. So this didn't start yesterday or 3 years ago or purple-haired people. This started 100 years ago because the gangs of New York were going around carrying guns and people were getting killed, and this was New York's custom and response to it. So him thinking there's some association with some sort of political party is just wrong. It's just stupid.
It's the gays.
I love when he goes, his whole shtick of equality, inclusion, climate change. Where does climate change fit with either of those two fucking
his
things?
brain, his neurons just start firing and he can't turn them off. He has to go with it.
No.
It's like when he reported me to YouTube, it's the same thing. He did his rant about what the shit people call him in his email. It's just like his neurons started firing. He was typing. Dan is a racist, and I'm like, what?
A bigot and a pedophile and a homophobe and commits mail fraud and jaywalks and lives in lots of places.
Well, that reminds me. I got to check my email. I reported Wally for copyright, and I want to see if I got anything in response. No, nothing yet.
Well, I don't know if you know, one of his videos got pulled down. I guess I report everything now, right? All of it. The one they pulled down. One they pulled down was the one, his Newsmax one. Go figure. I assume I couldn't claim copyright. I just said all of them. It's just hate speech. It promotes terrorism.
Yeah, the guy who's tagging everyone for copyright. He's just like, hey, everyone, watch this news article, and that's the whole video.
And that's the one not they pulled
modified.
Down.
Yeah,
and that's the one.
And I'm a copy of their video.
And I'm surprised they pulled that one down because I watched it and it's just some news guy giving his opinion on why he's. Yeah, but you know what? I haven't figured YouTube out how they go about things. Yeah. It's just they do whatever they do, and that's the way it is. But
speaking about copyright
kind of funny.
Let's watch. We'll watch. It's only 5 minutes long. We'll start it. We can pause if you want. Let me fire it.
Is it going to be laggy this time, or you got to?
No, I fixed everything. I figured it out. We're all good.
What, you got a new tower?
Is that the secret?
And a viewer of the channel. He's also a brother in the 9/11 community who sent me this via WhatsApp, and I actually verified it, and it's true. Fuck you, Democrats in New York. Kathy Hochul, Chuck Schumer, Jerry Nadler, AOC, Kirsten Gillibrand, and especially that token black mayor Eric Adams. The Supreme Court has decided in a 6-3 motion to throw out New York's concealed carry laws. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! It's a victory for those who want to engage in the right to self-defense, which is a God-given right which shall not be infringed upon. So I'm just going to take a little time to...
It's not a God-given right, you fucking idiot.
It says so in the Bible.
Stupid idiot.
This is a victory.
They didn't throw out the law.
New York is a communist.
They struck one small piece of it, the proper cause part of it. Everything else you still have to go through. You have to file. You have to do all the things. You get the background check. All the things. All the reasons why Wally can't have a real gun. You know, they still do all that stuff. So it doesn't change.
They change these laws and they can't change these laws. They're just doing it anyways because they think that's the fix, and it's not the fix. The fix is arm everybody, and when the nutcase pulls out his gun, everybody shoots the nutcase, and there's one less nutcase out there.
Yeah, that doesn't really work.
Oh, it does.
Well, I mean,
that's that classic. There's a meme. It's
an armed society is a polite society. Yeah, tell me how that worked out in the Wild West. Yeah,
there's that classic meme. There's like a guy holding an AR rifle, smiling, and it's like, this is one of the good guys. And then there's the same picture next to it said, this guy's going to murder you and your family, and then eat your dead relatives. Like, how do you tell? That's always the thing. It's like when you see a guy with a gun, how do you know he's one of the good guys? That's
he looks like Wally. That's why.
If he's trying to eat your family, you pull out your gun, you blow his fucking head off.
Yeah, but he comes up to you, says hi, and just smiles, and then murders you. You know,
that's anybody. He could be a cop too.
You ever see the old All in the Family episode where Archie Bunker does an editorial on one of the local TV channels, and he's like, well, with hijacking, what you got to do is, everybody gets a piece going in the plane, and when you get off, nothing happens. You hand the heaters back, and that way everybody's armed, and there won't be any problem on the plane.
Level playing field, yes.
I'm not sure plane's a good place.
I don't know. I mean, look.
Marxist socialist regime that will do everything and anything to disarm its citizens and allow criminals to run free. With this new ruling, oh man, things are about to change. This is something that just might drive me back to New York.
Oh, he's coming back.
Should things get out of control there. Ho, ho, ho.
Should things get out of control?
Turn into Santa Claus.
Now what the fuck does that mean?
What does that mean?
He's like,
no, he's like Santa Claus bringing the gifts.
Oh, he's ho 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 with a bag of guns.
Yeah.
What is his thing about always like some civil war? Like somehow something's going to happen, and all of a sudden
he's a big fat fucking pussy who doesn't have the balls to do it himself. So he thinks he's like Joan of Arc, right? Like he's going to lead the people to revolt, but he's not going to actually do it himself.
But did I read that right? He was like, "Oh, I'm coming to get you, New York." Is that what he meant? Like that's the way I took it.
Like it.
Yeah, it's like
the problem is New York. If I suspect what I suspect.
Back to the house of pain.
Left and right, their house of glass is collapsing all around them. And the more we squeeze them as conservatives and libertarians, the more we will take back this country. We will take back our First Amendment rights. We will take back our Second Amendment rights. We will forcefully take back our families and tear down these family courts and these decadent edifices.
What the fuck does that mean? We will forcibly take back our families.
It's highly specific.
Yeah, he's gonna put a pepper ball gun to baby mama's head and say, "Hey, you will love me again, baby mama." Come
this
on,
is one of those things where Wally's like, oh, I was taken out of context. Wally, what did you mean by we're going to forcibly take back our families?
First he said, ho, 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 I'm coming back to New York.
Right.
And then we're going to forcefully take our families back.
Yes. So please, Your Honor, members of the jury, what did he mean when he said, like, am I crazy by saying he's menacing and like, come on. Yeah, thanks, Hank. Forcibly.
If you take him seriously, that's very threatening. But if you take it for where it's coming from,
I mean, I really don't. But with Wally, you never know.
Says, you can't take seriously.
Yeah, he may snap and suddenly forcibly take his kids.
This bullshit narrative, like Gretchen Whitmer, for example, with menstruating persons. They're pregnant women, and they are biological women. Period. You
So
fucking
triggered.
cursing half moon Frankenstein looking motherfucker. All of this stuff we are going to take
That's
back.
pretty good.
All right, right now, thanks to Myra Flores, we have a slight lead now in the Senate, which is awesome. This shit needs to turn around, folks. All right, November's right around the corner, and the more victories that we get like this, the more and more we will reclaim and retake our country. This is not the country for the rainbows and the black power motherfuckers and the it-wahoos. This country belongs to us. Not to them. This belongs to black conservatives. This country belongs to Latinos.
Shout out to Maurice.
It also belongs to gay people just as well. But not the way that these people are trying to push their bullshit. We must reclaim and retake this country. But be prepared, folks, because this is just one ruling. Wait to see what happens when Roe vs. Wade comes out. We don't know when that's going to be released. Maybe today, maybe next week. Who knows? Because today is Thursday, and this is typically when they release their opinion pieces. That's why this just came out today. So, stay frosty, stay sharp. This is a huge victory for gun owners everywhere in New York.
Except
so now,
for
to my fellow New Yorkers, for the first time, I can actually say I am proud of you. That now at least the 35% of you who voted for Trump, who voted for Curtis Sliwa in New York City, all of my conservative American patriots that have stood fast and have stood strong. Good luck. At least now you have the law back on your side, the way it's supposed to be.
The law
your
affects.
Second Amendment shall not be infringed upon. God bless all of you. At least the 35% of you. The 65% of them I have absolutely no use for. If they were incinerated in a fucking cosmic fire,
everyone dies.
I couldn't give a shit.
You
But
don't.
for the rest of you,
don't
that
agree
is
with me. You
awesome,
die.
Man. I am
die.
so
But
happy
you die by
that
burning.
the people of my former
Yes.
home, at least the 35% of you that voted for Trump and voted for Curtis Sliwa, nothing makes me happier than to watch the Democrats and these leftists and these rhino neocons. I love it when they're fucking
He
playing
adds so
some
many
conquer
fucking acronyms.
and
What is
take
it?
over and strip you of your rights.
Liberal rhinocon? What are you
Yeah, he
talking
doesn't-
about?
He keeps going. You get it.
He
Oh
he
my
tries to put
God,
everybody in
man.
a box. Everybody's in a
I wonder
box,
how
and
he's like. That's
everybody's
a difficult like incineration bomb that will only target the liberals. Like, how do you do
he's
that?
just
How do
being
you?
hyperbolic. Come on.
I gotta ask though, like people are always saying midterm elections. What is that? Like you guys vote every 4 years for your president, but what happens
yeah, but
in the
every-
midterm?
But there are
kinda
some
give 'em a
elections
grade?
that are altered. Like there are some congressional seats, like Senate seats and House of
Okay.
Representatives seats.
Yeah, House of Representatives
Okay,
2
yeah.
years. And
Every 2
Senators
years,
6
yeah.
years.
So how the president is
Yeah.
doing is going to determine those other races to a degree.
Well,
It's like taking
classically,
power
whatever
away or giving.
party is in power,
Yeah.
Yeah,
invariably people are going to be dissatisfied with it, and then they vote in
The opposite.
the opposite
And
in
this
the
is where the
midterms. That
problem
almost
comes in.
always happens.
This is
Yeah,
the
so
same
it's not
problem we have in
uncommon for the
Canada.
president's party in the midterms to do fairly
Fuck
not
it up.
well because
Yeah.
it's just been traditionally that way, just like
And
HS
those-
said, you know.
And those are the smaller places like the counties and the states and the like. It's not the. It has nothing to do with the federals, right?
Well, no, it could be
Yeah.
federal.
Oh, could it? Oh, I guess like yeah. There's
Right,
other things
the
that-
House of Representatives changes.
That's
The
right,
Senate
yeah.
too, right? The Senate can flip or no?
Every 6 years.
Well, the Senate's
yeah,
every
Senate.
6 years, so
Oh,
it's
okay.
like every 2 years shit happens.
Right.
But it depends when they get
There's
in.
another thing, like when you're a senator, they're like you're a senator for life. Is that really true? Like if you get voted,
You can keep
out.
running.
Ah,
Right.
Other
It's hard to get rid of an
you have
incumbent.
term limits.
Yeah.
Does
It's
the
hard to
House
get-
have term limits? I guess they do. The House of
the
Representatives,
House
do they
doesn't
have?
No.
No,
You
I don't. I
know,
don't think
we
there's
have
any
so many
other than the
laws here.
You
president,
could be in
right?
the House forever.
Our laws.
Yeah,
are
I
Well,
think
look at like
George
Strom
Washington
Thurmond,
started
who was
that
like
precedent.
189, right? He
We
was
don't
in,
have
he was
term
in
limits here.
the
We
Senate
don't
for
have
like
term limits
75
here. That's why
years.
you got what we got.
Well, Canada, don't you just answer to the Queen? Really? Isn't that what happens?
This is what so many people don't get. It's like they think that Canada is its own deal, and it's not. Canada is like a corporation.
Yeah. Why do you have the
and-
Queen on your money?
Because she owns the land under your feet. It's still her
God
land.
save the Queen.
It's
See?
crown land. And when you see a corporation, it's called a crown corporation. That means that's from the government on her behalf. So like the CBC
Now, Hidden,
is
let me ask you
actually
a question because
like the
you're-
BBC
you're-
in Canada.
You're a Canadian, so you got to like hockey, right? It's just part of it. That and curling, right, is your sports, right? Those are the big ones, right?
I'm a weird Canadian.
Who's your team?
I never liked hockey until my city got a team, and then once my city got a team, I started watching, and then I started learning, and I started liking my team more than I like hockey. But
that's not possible.
My team would be Ottawa.
Isn't that like when you're born in Canada? Don't they put you on skates to make sure that you're Canadian? I mean, how does that work?
Yeah,
I thought like that. You learn to skate before you learn to walk.
Not everybody goes to play for a hockey team, though.
Do you remember there was a commercial? There was a commercial with Wayne Gretzky at home, but his house looked like a regular house, but the floor was an ice skating rink. So like he'd get up to go to the kitchen and it's like skating there, and then mom and dad are on skates. I can't remember what it was for, but it was an old Wayne Gretzky commercial.
I thought every Canadian was like Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Back in the old days, like they were a pretty good representation of what Canada was in the 70s.
Yeah, 2 soakers, eh?
But we only had X amount of people here. Like we're very small as far as population, so it's very easy for them to just flip the population into what they want with immigration. Like
in Canada,
a million, like say there's 1 million people in Ottawa, and they'll grab like 200,000 from Somalia and drop them in. Here you go. It's like, okay, well, you're really changing the demographic pretty quick here. Like there was a time in my life where meeting a black person in Ottawa was, wow, there's a black guy here. Like there was.
Really? Yeah, was it that rare?
Everybody was actually like Italian, Irish, Scottish, English, French, Polish. Like they were all
white, basically.
Eastern Europe, or like Mediterranean. So there was Greeks and Lebanese, but it didn't go too far into the Middle East. Now it's like,
listen. I went to school I went to college at Brooklyn Polytech. So when I took the bus from Myrtle Avenue all the way down Myrtle Avenue into Brooklyn, there was everything but white people. So I mean, that's if you grow up in New York,
is that where the blood's going to flow? Oh wait, that's Cooper Avenue. Avenue.
No, yeah, that's a different. Yeah, that's a different avenue. Yeah.
Well, he's going to hit you in the head.
I think the biggest difference is with the United States, they have a melting pot theory, whereas we have a multiculturalism theory.
Well, nothing melts in Canada because it's always fucking cold.
Exactly. Like down in the States, they're like, you become American. But when you come to Canada...
Well, not if Wally has his way, right? If Wally has his way, everybody retains their original Germanic identity, right?
You might like it here then, because they like it when the people group up by their race or by their country. They like that a lot.
Well, you know what?
Because it's
like
very
they can be
Marxist
both,
here,
right?
So they're good with that.
Yeah, like they can be both.
Like here, they say that Canada has no culture. There's nothing here. It's just an erased place. So you can just bring in whatever you want, and that's Canada. And it's like, well, that's not really true, man. We have 200 years of there's culture.
Well, tell that to the French Canadians. I'm sure they wouldn't agree with that, right?
Yeah.
French Canadians are very proud of the culture.
Our prime minister says there's no Canadian culture, and the Quebecers go, that's right, there's only Quebec culture. Because they're that nationalist. Like Quebec is considered a nation within Canada. Just like the natives.
You know what?
Each tribe is considered a nation.
It doesn't matter where you go in the world. Every country has its thing, you know. I mean, that's one of the things about Wally. Wally gets so emotionally invested in politics, and you see what it does. He's already he's already Wally. But when you spend every waking moment of your day, like going on YouTube and looking at all these different YouTubers that are like selling all this bullshit, and he's buying into it and he's investing in it, you see what it does to him. It turns him into a bitter, lonely person that really has no outlet other than YouTube, and it's kind of sad in many ways.
Well, I wonder
do you
how
think
much
he really
an
believes
effect of the internet? Because like if it was back in the day when he was going to high school, was he really like all about politics? I doubt it.
No, you'd have to ask Babu, but I don't think so.
Yeah, Babu would know. Yeah.
Do you think he believes the stuff he's trying to make friends? Like
I've said this before. I honestly
he's trying to sell what he believes.
In the beginning, I thought
he's a really bad salesman.
He's like, believe it or not, I can't believe these words might come out of my mouth. That Wally was smarter than what he professes to be. Like I honestly, in my heart, believe Wally really doesn't believe the shit he's saying. He's just trying to get people stirred up. Nobody can be this despicable. Nobody can be this awful.
Right.
And I didn't think Wally was. I just thought he was a loser. But as time goes by, I start to wonder if he's starting to buy his own press, like because his world is so small, right?
Well, I think he does.
Yeah.
Like, I think
Well,
that's
he
what I'm
gets so
saying
insulted when you disagree with him. It's
Or
like
he acts insulted, but the truth is he's got nothing, right?
Well,
I
it's the
haven't seen
internet.
plastic in the tree lately. I don't know what's going on with Esteban or Shardy
I mean,
or Shitty
yeah,
or
but
whatever
it's a
that guy's
game
name
for
is.
the
Daddy.
Shitty, yeah.
So
I'm looking at his live stream now. He's got there's a whole new
Cat's
new
out of-
lineup.
who?
Cat's
A
out of
whole
the
new cast
plastic
of
bag in the
characters, I'm
tree.
sure.
Yeah, I don't see anybody similar.
Who Wally
I
does
mean,
a live stream?
Yeah, we were talking about before. He went live 2 minutes before my live stream, so he's
that's
trying
funny.
to he's trying to like I guess
But now
he's
he's
probably
a
mad
bit-
that Penny was over here. It's probably jelly that
I was
Penny
going to
was
ask,
there.
where is
what
Penny?
kind of-
I felt left off. No Jew jokes yet.
Penny's always defending people.
But what kind
Penny
of person,
said
like,
he's not going
listens-
to do this anymore, but he's not over there, so who knows what Penny's doing.
But what
Yeah,
kind
he
of
just
person,
didn't
like,
get the
what kind
notification.
of person goes to Wally and subscribes to his channel? Because all he does, you would say, oh, well, let me listen to this guy. Some insightful, brilliant comments about some kind of political nuance stuff. And then you go and listen to him. It's just a complete rant about nonsense. And these motherfuckers and these blue-haired and you might be marginally entertained by it because he's like a kind of a New York guy and a kind of a rough around the edges, and you say, but then it's over and over the same old rant all the time, and pretty soon, guys, the Civil War is going to come, and I wish he would get a little bit more into his less lethal stuff so he can talk about like when everything.
So he can
falls
shoot the
apart,
walls
he's gonna
again.
Go, yeah, no, well, he'll go hunting rabbits and he'll feed the whole apartment complex, and
Yeah,
he'll
no more
not only
shooting
have
videos.
the-
What happened, Wally? Why don't you shoot in the
nothing,
apartment anymore?
Did you
You're
see
allowed
the clip?
to by North Carolina state law. Go ahead.
Did you see the thing where I think I sent you the clip, Dan? I know it was on one of Mo's live streams that he was on.
Yeah.
While he's doing the whole, don't worry about it, Mo. If somebody threatens your kid, I'll take care of him. And then, like, with the caveat that they actually have to drive to Charlotte, North Carolina, in order for Wally to hurt them. Right. So,
And also, someone in the panel's like, "Yeah, Maga Man, don't do that." And he's like,
Well,
he
no,
had his
so-
gun. He's like, "Look at my gun, guys!" And
right.
they're like, "Don't do that." He's like, "Oh, okay," and he puts it back.
yeah, but he's like, but that's why I kept it slow and to the
Yeah,
left.
that's why I took it in slowly because it makes a difference whether or not I bring my gun in quickly or
Right.
slowly.
Gives you a chance to tell him to not do it.
He's such an idiot. But you can tell, like, he was like, "Oh, okay, guys." I want to troll
Starts getting
Maurice.
hyper and then he calms right down.
But it was just like he's like Babu said, he tries too hard. He's just like he keeps on talking about, oh, some guy threatened Maurice's kid, and Maurice just like moved on from it. Like, whatever, the guy said it, but while he's like, hey, remember when that guy said he's gonna shoot your kid? Well, I got your back, Maurice. And Maurice is like, he probably moved on, but Wally just keeps bringing it up and whips out his gun and probably gets Maurice like a little like nervous. Like, what is this guy doing? Why is this guy fascinated with defending
But
my
Wally
kid?
is so-
It's weird.
He's so desperate to like get somebody to befriend him. If like somebody
Yes,
goes
he's
into
trying
his
too hard.
chat, right, and says like one nice thing about him, he's like, "Oh, my dude, here's a wrench. God bless." Oh, So,
Yeah, everyone gets a wrench.
Yeah, everybody gets a wrench if you say one nice thing about him.
Let
And
me
it
try to
doesn't
get.
matter
Maybe
what
I
it
could.
is.
Maybe I could show that video. Hold on.
Do you have the clip of him showing the gun? Although I'm trying to find that.
Yeah, I think I could just get it from the chat. Let's see, the Facebook chat.
Yeah, it was so funny. While he's like, if they cut,
what we haven't.
It's like, okay, he puts it away.
Fucking tail.
Yeah,
between
well, that's
his
the
legs.
other thing. He just like throws stuff on people. He doesn't like say shit.
Yeah. All of a sudden, like you have to deal. I used to
Like,
crack
what's
up
my
watching
gun?
Hidden have to handle Crazy Wally. Like, oh boy, he's at it
Like-
again.
It's like everything's normal for an hour, and then all of a sudden it's like, "Hoo-ah!" And you're like,
Yeah,
what
I
the
just
fuck?
imagine like Hidden's like half asleep. He's like 5 hours into a live stream, and then while he's like, he drops some bomb, and it's like, oh fuck, I gotta
Yeah.
handle this.
Shit was going good for like a couple of weeks, and then all of a sudden he shows up with a shaved head, looking up at the camera like,
When that happens, I remember you went, oh man, like right away you were like, oh fuck.
Here goes.
I
Yeah,
just-
Here
I
we
remember
go.
Hidden when
"Here's
when,
Mega
when,
Man. What
when-
the
yeah.
fuck is going on?"
when Tico Trend showed up, and it's like, oh, here comes the fight here, and then they both went at it. But the thing that we haven't really talked about much. That
Come and see me.
Can I save
the,
this?
the,
Yeah. hold
the
on.
thing that
Oh,
I thought
fuck,
was
it
funny in that one video, I put it in a video today because I came across it the other day. that child size, whatever that thing. What the hell is that?
Oh
thing?
man.
Yeah,
we talked about that last
thing?
time. You weren't here. I don't know.
I meant to research
creepy.
it, but I really don't want to. I really don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, like that
booby bum torso thingy.
like,
that's like only.
Yeah, it's like a child-sized.
Yeah, like you can hold it in one hand,
with like,
and it seems to have a vagina, and it's all like soft and latex.
It's got
like,
boobs,
what is it?
But it's I don't know. It's like something that you know you can see.
Well, you know what it is?
Like that
it's
around.
Something that my tax dollars and your tax dollars went to pay for. That's what it is.
Yeah, but wouldn't you rather he buy that and be like?
No, I wouldn't actually.
That shit.
You know, he's spreading. He's you know what do you call it? He's you know putting the money back in the economy. Someone at the port store took his money.
Hey guys. Make sure you pick up, pasta and stock the shelves with pasta and make sure you get all that stuff. Oh, here's my 4 Freddy shirts in case you just happen to want to do cosplay as Freddy. I mean, I guess maybe that is that a thing?
There it is.
Yeah, that thing. What the? Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't even know what that is.
And he's giving it a dirty look, like he doesn't fuck that every night.
Yeah,
it's got something between its legs. Like what? What is it?
It's a hole to stick your dick.
Let me pose the question.
Dan, you should.
But what? Why have the? I don't get it.
I know.
You should put the audio with him talking about mashed baby penises over this.
Oh, I don't want to. I don't want to do that.
But Dan, let me pose the question. If you wanted that thing, what would you put in the Google search bar?
Yeah, I don't want to because then I'll start getting advertisements for weird shit in Facebook. Like the algorithm will be like, "Hey, Dan King's interested in the pocket child fuck thing or whatever." I don't know what you call that.
Child fuck thing. I think that's what it's called, actually.
Yeah, don't Google that, folks.
Wally is sitting.
Yeah, I don't want to have my history.
But Wally doesn't. That's not something that you can That's not something you can go out and buy at Walmart, and that's the only store that Wally really goes to. So he was sitting home, and he was Googling something to get that thing delivered to his house. And that's the really fucking scary part.
Early on with our feud. Like, right after I told him to go fuck off, I suddenly got weird shit in my inbox, and one of them was, he signed me up to gay sex toy. Like, I started getting, like, a shitload of emails, like I was on some list, and then I made a video about it, like Wally, you're sitting there Googling all this, right? Like what was your decision-making process? Like, oh, this is a good sex toy site. Like, he was sitting there doing it, and I pointed that out. And then Wally came on like a live stream a few weeks later. He's like, that wasn't me. That must have been one of my viewers. I didn't do that. Like, oh, okay. Weird sex toy guy. So Wally has experience looking for sex toys on the internet.
I went into a sex shop.
He must, because I mean, like, I guess that's where he got his that pocket vagina or that vagina thing he had. I mean,
probably.
And we didn't talk about this, right?
Yeah, there it is. I gotta download
like that. You guys might have touched base about it, but Dan mentioned it behind the scenes. Wally behind the scenes. He always likes to talk about behind the scenes stuff. But when the big drive-by shooting, that he got all
that
scared
we couldn't find evidence.
He needed somebody to.
Yes.
I could. Yeah, but I think Dan mentioned it. He was talking about a strip club down there, so that's probably the real reason he was down there. Wally was a little bit lonely, and he was thinking about baby mama, and maybe he had a couple singles from his welfare check that he got cashed that he wanted to stuff in some stuff.
What was the name of the strip club? The Sailor's Porthole.
So you're basically saying,
someone Googled the address and is like, this is where Wally's, and Wally was like, I was just out for some air during a huge, like gasoline costs $8 a gallon, but I was just driving around. Like, he wasn't out in a country road, you know what I mean? He was like in uptown, whatever, Charlotte.
So
like,
he went,
how many
back out in his
I have that.
He went right to the police.
The little fuck doll thing.
You got my God's honest word, man.
Whoa, that's a Nazi
anything ever happens to you and Kelly and your grandson.
No show Henry down there.
That's a Nazi
you come on down here around my hood. Let me tell you, I'm like fucking Tackleberry from Police Academy, bro.
You said who's in chat room, John? Maga Man said he'll fight her.
You, Kelly, and your grandson.
All they have to do is come to Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'll defend you.
Yeah. After they're done threatening your.
Yo,
that wasn't the one where he pulled out his gun.
Oh, do I have to say?
That's a Nazi flag on the bottom right.
Yeah, that's another asshole who.
Yeah, that's Wally's new friends. That's what he's doing with his time.
He's down with the Ukrainian Nazis. Nice. Who's the other guy on the left?
He's in with the black conservatives. He found his calling.
What?
He's found a home. He's found a new home. But can you imagine how many CMP?
I was trying to find the one where he
drive-by shooting, or the alleged drive-by shooting. How many CMPD new people?
Oh,
how many CMPD cards do you think he scored?
He's got a whole.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe any. I don't know if I believe. I think he pulled his car. He saw the place warned off, and he pulled his car over. And then he was like,
I think
let's
so
go.
Too.
I don't think he was part of the investigation.
In Wally's sad, lonely existence, he has managed to have 3 people try to commit suicide. He was in a drive-by shooting. His tires got slashed twice. He got water bottles thrown at him. Asian hate sign, stop Asian hate signs ripped. The guy has had. He is a fucking magnet by his own accord for attention. Right? He's been on TV more times than anybody who's not in the industry is. Right? He's always in a news crew. He's always looking. Hey guys, I have a story
jealous.
For you.
I've been on TV.
Right?
Yeah, but
I'm famous.
He threatens to pepperball his throat. And then not that long after,
you hear when he goes
Esteban's cutting his forehead.
Like I said, anybody fucks with Mo.
Here you go.
Like I said, I got some new toys to play with.
Some other dude
so don't be fucking with Mo and don't be making empty threats, man. You come to my home.
You're gonna get put backstage because Mo doesn't allow that either. Don't be flashing weapons.
Yeah, you're right. That's why I kept it off slowly.
Hey, I'm not.
He got in trouble.
Idiot.
You can't do that here. I know. I know.
Like
I was chilling with
Wally.
I know what I could do and not do.
Mo's muscle. Instead of whipping out a Glock or
I was going to say, any gun guy would know you're not going to show a scoped hunting rifle, let alone a BB rifle, as a defense weapon.
Right.
His apartment's so small, he won't be able to get it up without hitting something. You know?
And then it's going to be pa-ching.
Yeah. He's gonna pump it up twice, so it really hurts.
And then get his little tin.
I keep forgetting. I think I have that gun in my garage. It's rusting. It's just like a toy. We forgot all about it. But Wally's oiling it every day.
He shoves it in that little pocket pussy.
And what about
thing?
You can only
savage cock
in that thing.
Oh, I actually have.
The savage.
What are we talking about?
It's fuck Hunt's ketchup. He's
yeah,
ketchup packets in it.
Well, which one of you, and maybe it's hidden, you have a video locked in the vault of Wally violating the pocket pussy with Aunt Jemima or something?
Pussy. No. This was a full torso. It's no arms, no legs, no head.
Well, is this a real person that Wally?
No, it's like a fuck doll that doesn't have the body extremities.
We went through this. We're talking about the same thing. We call it it was the pussy, but it's really like a pussy and an ass. It's if you cut a woman where her belly button is and then right where her legs start. That's what Wally has, like a serial killer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's like Wally and Shadi, the pussy and the ass.
You ever see that movie Boxing Helena? You ever see the movie Boxing Helena?
No.
I heard about it, but I don't want anything to do with that. That sounds awful. I know the premise of that movie.
It seems pleasant enough until you get about halfway in, and then you're like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, the premise is this guy is obsessed with a girl. He knocks her out and then cuts her arms and legs off and keeps her in a box under the bed or something.
Yeah.
And I think it was a pretty famous actress. Was it? It wasn't Julia.
I can't remember who. It's so long ago.
But don't watch that movie, anybody.
You can watch it. It's good. It's good.
Of course you do.
I'll bet you anything. Feminists are like, get that movie out.
What is Savage? He says he has that. He has that video. Look at him.
I got Guess Who in the chat without anything. Let's see.
Savage Cock's been recording my streams from way back.
Let's see. Here we go. If I do this right, do this.
We getting a big dick?
Okay, who is it? I give up. Guess who? They're muted and the camera's off.
I think it's Maga Man.
Well,
it can't be Maga Man because we could actually we could actually see Maga Man chatting right now. So
Maga Man.
Oh, like Queen Mahat.
Is he
right.
showing himself now, Maga Man?
I kicked him out. I can't. Come on.
Oh shit!
Oh,
you're getting good at this, man.
I was hoping it was Mega. Oh man.
Yeah, Dan, you've got this down to a science now. Look at this.
And
13th you called it
episode.
Again.
The 13th episode.
Yeah,
I was also practicing. Like I said, I was practicing. I was trying to because I figured out my tech problem. So I was practicing. But the next step is to do what Hidden does. I'm very jealous. Hidden has a very complex setup. But every time I try to do it, it just breaks horribly.
Dan, you called it again.
I don't know.
Wally. Wally's live stream for tonight said he was going to go on at 9 o'clock, and of course he on before 8.
Well, he never does.
Well, maybe he meant, what is that? The next time, thing over. Yeah, no, he's like the worst. We joked. In fact, I think I should have bet Slippery once. He said like 7 o'clock, and I bet 3 o'clock he goes live, and it was like 3:02 he went live, and I was like, oh, I should have put some money on it. So Wally, you're a joke every time
he's got nothing else to do
something.
though.
Well, he's like a kid on Christmas morning. He's like I'm gonna go live at 7. I'm gonna go live at 7. He's like, I'm just gonna go live now. He can't stop himself,
Savage, I just watched a clip of your video. Great music, man. It puts the lotion in the basket. That's beautiful.
Oh shit.
Oh, we got shh in the back too. Again, no. Come on. Unless you give me something. Oh, he kicked himself out. Okay.
My last stream actually had no copyright claims. I was like, yeah, I finally hit the mix.
What happened? You got a copyright again?
No, I didn't get any. Usually I get a claim for the songs I play at the beginning, but since I've been singing and doing my own songs at the beginning, it's not hitting copyright.
Oh, in fact, one of the Dogpiles, we played your video and I got a copyright. I think you played something from Public Enemy, and I got some. It was just it was like we own the music, so fuck you. I was like, whatever,
That's the that's the diss track for Penny, not Penny Pounder, but actual Penny Proud, who Penny Pounder's making fun of when he calls himself that.
Now we got it's a surprise. Come on, guys, give me something. Give me a picture.
I'll always call her Penny Proud because she's always going to be Penny Proud to me. She is not who she wants to be called. She's fucking Penny Proud.
I miss Penny. I miss having a bad guy in the chat. Let me see if he's over by Wally's. No, I don't see him over at Wally's. All right, let's see. I also have this one. This is a good one. This one, Wally saw the description of one of my dog piles, and it triggered him, and he made a little threatening video.
Oh no.
He loves the white text and the black background.
The
he thinks when
music.
you do that, yeah, this is all his. I didn't add any music or anything.
Remember that phase when he went through? He was never on camera, but he would do all this. Wow, you look young there.
So this is good. This is like he's breaking down. That's my description, and he's like, I said, you're gonna see Wally wave around paperwork. He's like, no, it's legal paperwork and litigation that disproves that.
I remember this phase was either this ominous music or the sad, tinkly, like families just don't understand.
I love that description. The tinkly music.
Admits to Doc. This is what you called Esteban. He admits it. He admits it's like, yeah, we called Esteban. Like, yeah.
Wally thinks doxing.
Wally thinks he's gonna go to a lawyer and be like, look at this evidence. Blows it out of the water. Fake.
But like if he had a friend that was really a friend, and like I'm sure he's explained this to everybody he runs into, and said to them all about this, and I'm sure they just yes him to death. But I don't think he has a friend that says, Wally, this is just like the internet. This is the world of the internet, and you chose to put yourself there. So you got yeah. I mean,
I remember when he was still hanging out with the MGTOW guys, and he would try to do this with them, and like I remember Trusherm being like, dude, this is YouTube. Like, like you make a video, this is what's gonna happen. He's like, but beyond trolling up, and they're like, whatever, man. He misspelled interpretation. Like if I knew if I was making a threatening message to my enemies, I would try to spell shit right. But that's just me.
Oh, and there was something that he recently said where he uses the word wrong again. I love when he does that.
I caught that in one of the most
right.
videos.
You caught right. He used the word wrong.
False narrative.
It was succumb instead of succumbed. It's like circummed or something like that. At least that's the one that I caught. That one I love when he says beholding instead of beholden.
Yes,
beholding, yeah. Or he was talking about, citizens have the right to go to the government to address grievances, and he meant this, and he really, the word that goes with that phrase is redress grievances, but he keeps saying address grievances.
You want to hear something funny? My kids were watching the one where he was talking about ramen noodles, and he calls them ramen noodles.
Ramen
they
noodles.
were both fucking cringing. They're like, "What does he mean, ramen noodle?"
And like he's from Queens. He should know how to say that word. Like somewhere else in the country, maybe you give him a break. But it's like, dude, you're from Queens. You don't know how to pronounce ramen. It's like, geez.
You notice that he says North Carolina has some of the strongest laws on the books against this behavior. The problem is, which he found out, we're not in fucking North Carolina.
Yeah. He filled out paperwork.
What's wrong with this guy?
In the paperwork he filled out against us, there's a check mark that says, "This happened in North Carolina, right?" And he's like, "Yup." And then, of course, like, it goes to the judge or whatever. They're like, "Yeah, no, we can't do anything because you checked the box that says this is a crime." But Wally's like, "Well, I was in North Carolina when they made fun of me, you know."
Again.
That was probably his excuse.
I'm trying to, can anybody explain? Like, Wally left New York. He says he's done with New York. But why just not move on and be done with it, right?
Because of us.
Why the constant?
Because he's super jealous of, he wants nothing more than to move here. He can't hack
probably,
it. He can't hack it.
He makes the movie, videos for us. That's why.
Here, I'm going to share something with you. They caught.
Is it a dick?
No, they caught a couple of MAGA army people coming through at the Mexican border. And they got chased back.
Oh, it wasn't Wally because he certainly can't afford the gas.
Yeah. That's what I was saying before. When he threatens to come to New York, the guy couldn't afford the ride here. He couldn't afford tolls.
He would have to take a Greyhound bus, and he probably couldn't even afford that.
No. He might be able to get here and not get back.
They got them.
What?
Monkey dressed as a hitman died in a narco shootout with military. The animal was characterized as a hitman. He was wearing a ballistic vest, a camouflaged
excuse me, sir. It's a hit ape, okay?
That's funny.
Is this true or is this a joke?
This is for real. They
the
shot the guy that he was hanging on to.
Look at
monkey. Yeah, I mean, who would shoot an ape? Yeah.
Look in the second picture. You can see he's attached to the guy that they shot. They shot right through the monkey and into.
Oh, I see. There's a sniper ass. I don't know what I was looking at for a minute. So his sniper's on the left.
His arm stayed that way because he was in rigor mortis.
Oh,
he looks like he's still hanging on. For
the point of the monkey.
They caught the MAGA army.
Dude, how high are you right now, Hidden? Where do you find that shit?
What did you have to search?
It was Steven Crowder.
And this is a guy who works with anesthetics.
Yeah. Let me type in narco hit monkey and see what comes up.
I bet you it'll be that. This could only be one, right?
While he's doing like childlike pocket pussy and you're doing narco hit monkey.
Oof.
Well, what happened with Wally with the CBDs? I thought there was some hope there. He was taking those CBD gummies. And
they're probably too expensive.
The master of loose ends, right? He's the man of a million loose ends. Right? There's all this unfinished shit.
Right.
Okay, he told me that he was taking CBD.
Exactly.
And then he told me that the CBD was making him too fried. And I'm like, well, that's not how it works. So if you're getting fried off that, there's something else wrong.
There's a guy who also says that he couldn't sleep, but he drank some coffee.
And there's a reason he doesn't want to smoke weed.
Yeah. But Wally will circle back around because the guys from New York, you guys remember when he was through his vitamin phase? Like he would go off on a crazy, and he's even done it a few times in North Carolina.
I think he still does.
He'll go off on his supplements for like months at a time, and vitamin C without rose hips because the one with rose hips is the bad one. Like,
well, whenever you see Wally, he's like the definition of a healthy man. Like, obviously, you want to emulate whatever he's doing because he's just glows with health. Videos,
he would pile up all these bottles of different, vitamins and supplements. And then, like, if you were an unsuspecting person, you would say, oh, wow, this is interesting. Maybe he's going to give me some information on what these supplements do. And then he's like, well, you take this one and it's whatever, and it's really good for you. but like he doesn't tell you. Like there's no scientific background or any kind of anything other than like his politics. It's just that
his
sucks.
word.
It's no good. This is good for you, and no rose hips. I mean, for whatever reason, he had this rose hips thing. So there was never any. You never. I don't even know what that is, but Wally seems to not
rose
like
hip was like a filler, so he's like, oh, when you see it, that's just bullshit. That's just bullshit marketing. That you get less vitamin C because it's rose hips. Do you want to watch his drive-by? We'll watch his drive-by video. Here we go.
What's going on? Something very frightening happened right in front of my car.
He's too clean shaven.
Thank God for quick reflexes.
I love when he has no eyebrows.
He's very soft and doughy looking when he has
his
no
face looks like an ant.
He looks all over the place.
He needs a beard.
Check this out, man. That jersey looks like he's got a
am outside.
It's
about midnight. Just taking a little bit of a joyride to get some fresh air, and I do that sometimes.
Talking about it.
And out of no place, man.
He's got his two Odin medals.
The drive-by happened like right in front of my car.
But if you're looking from far away, that looks like a cop badge. That
nerve-wracking, scariest things I have
He's got so many logos on.
Saw or witnessed.
He's got 3 logos and 2 chains.
No, I'm not going to film anything inappropriate. Basically, I've already given my statement.
And also, someone else pointed out it's 12:30 in the morning, and he's got sunglasses on his hat just in case.
This is by far the most frightening thing
all these
I
cops
have
are like, oh great, we got one of these.
ever seen in my
But
life.
you just said this is the most frightening thing he's ever seen. So this outdoes 9/11 because 9/11 was the big thing.
Yeah, no, that's all forgotten about now. It's all this.
As it gets.
Yeah, this is a whole new episode of PTSD.
And let me tell you, when I mean it happened like almost right in front of my car, you're talking like within a couple of yards in front of my car, and just I ended up making this huge turn to like get away from it, man, because these cats in this car, man, just opened up on people. Like it was unlike anything I've ever seen. So
well, you need to relax.
Like I said,
have
I
some coffee.
Anything inappropriate. The police are doing their thing right now. Thank God for the cops. Not for the police,
like,
man.
You ain't doing shit. It's 2 o'clock in the morning.
I'm like spitting everywhere. It's my nerves. But this
he's on the other side of the ropes there,
I mean,
so did he just pull up and it's like, yeah.
Like I said, I don't want to film anything inappropriate or anything like that. But this is.
Was that the strip club? I wonder.
This is real, man. Like this is not a joke. This is no game.
Look at that
this is no
fucking
laughing
shit.
matter, man.
This is real, guys.
Had a cocaine overdose.
He's like a howler monkey. Look at his neck.
I'm still a little rattled by it.
Yeah, he really needs facial hair, man. And also, he said he's just driving around. Why did he shave before he went for the driving around? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Get out of here, but I've never seen anything like it. I think now that it happened, like about a half hour ago,
except in every other movie,
something like that. I'm still processing it. But just the sheer,
I guess I've never been in a car accident.
The sheer brutality of what I saw is unlike anything I ever witnessed.
I've never seen any movies ever.
And it was funny because I just did a live stream
when you pull out a time machine, what?
And I was doing live streams on a channel earlier today. And then the very thing I talk about happened right in front of my face.
Wow, what a coincidence, huh? He was talking about a drive-by shooting, and then he sees one, guys.
I mean, I'm not going to show certain things here, but if I didn't make that turn to like go in the opposite direction, my car would have got hit. God knows, if I would have kept going straight, I might have been hit with a stray bullet.
It's almost like when he was going to set a vagabond trap, and then he saw a vagabond like the same day. What a coincidence!
Process right now, so I gave my statement to the cops. I'm just waiting.
Yeah, Savage called it before. He was trolling. He was cruising for some.
Now they're like, we have an incredible witness.
Right now. Like I said, I don't want to film anything inappropriate.
Honestly.
Another dude that looks like him. Another like self-hating, closeted nut job. He would hook up with him. He would have sex with a guy, and then they'd be like, "This wasn't gay, right?" Be like, "Nah."
I never thought of my own
Yeah. We jerked each other off, but we didn't actually look at each other's dick. It was all under a blanket, so that's not
There's
gay.
really not much to say at this point. But,
got
the
his earring
cops
on.
are doing their job. Thank God for the police, man.
Gotta cross yourself.
And thank God, because the direction I went in, there were cruisers right in the direction
I wonder
I
what
was
God
at.
and
I'm
Jesus
sticking my
would
hand
say
out the
about
window
his
to go
little
like
sex
this and
toy
trying to
that he
shoot him
was
in that
playing
direction.
with the other day.
come over here.
That's not a real
thank God they were
conservative
right
Christian
there.
thing.
Like, you never did the cross before you got into that little.
Look, this is frightening, man. This is another thing in my life I wish I could see.
Savage is an expert at this kind of thing. I take the man's word. He said he worked in a porno store for like 20 years.
Another one of those things.
So Savage is very good with reading. He can cold read someone's sexuality from 10 feet away.
Nature of what I saw. So, I'm gonna wait until CMPD gives me the okay to head home. It's gonna take me a little time to process this. Guys, this is not a joke.
All right.
It's not a joke, guys.
It's so easy.
This video
to
is
pull
7
out
minutes
weapon
longer than it has to be.
Well, he's still
Cause what I
processing it
saw.
live.
Guys, what I saw.
You know, it makes you think.
And again,
It
like,
makes you think.
oh, there's a guy setting up a camera right
It
behind
makes
Wally.
you
What's
think.
that all
Like,
about?
I'm watching everything. Like I
Look
said, I
over
don't
his
wanna
left shoulder there,
point
his
the
right
camera
shoulder.
in that direction, but I'm looking at it.
Yeah, so
It
like
makes
3 of
you
us were
think
looking for this news
that you
story,
can be-
and there's nothing.
like
We never found anything. No, not a blip.
Cops won't tell
So,
us.
I'll keep you guys posted.
Yeah, Wally just goes on. You get it. So yeah, like we looked at. I even looked. I googled the streets where he was. Nothing.
Did he keep everybody posted though? Or was that
and
a
and,
lie?
and I'm 100% sure there's nothing in the news about it, because if there were, Wally would have been like, "This is the story, guys," and he would have.
Oh, he was going up to the camera guy behind him. Listen, I saw everything. If you need a statement, I'm happy to provide it.
Guys, like, I'm trying to focus. Get out of the shot,
Right.
asshole.
That's Wally's whole shtick. I'm happy to. I saw it. I saw it.
You want me to put on my sunglasses?
Yeah.
At midnight that I have on my head?
I bet you he went as far as he probably called WCNC, that Charlotte station that's done a couple things with him already. He said, "Hey, guess what? I saw this drive-by. Do you want me to? You want to do a little remote piece with me? You can come to
That's
my
why the
apartment. I'll
camera
tell you
guy
the whole
showed up.
story."
I bet when they like, so when Wally calls the station, they type in his name and there's a little red flag next to his name, like, yeah, don't, this guy, no.
Well, that's what I was gonna say about. He said, "I gave my statement to the police." I'm like, and they're gonna throw it in the garbage because they're like, "We saw all these other statements you've been giving us."
Yeah,
Well,
but when you listen
we're
to
not
his,
gonna use you.
We pointed out that the reporter that had his 9/11 story, she took his video off her channel after we put the kibosh on it. So Wally's all mad at us.
yeah, she had the feature on her Facebook channel, and then everybody started typing under it. You know, do you know this guy? You know, this guy is this and that, and like linked to some of his own YouTube videos.
Oh, no.
And she took it off. She removed it.
Yeah, Wally's like, we're defaming him. It's like, how can you defame someone when you're like, this is a video from this person's channel that they made and voluntarily put on their channel. Here, please watch it. They're defaming me. They're painting me in an uncharacter. Like no, we're just like, check this guy out and decide for yourself if he's a nut job. Just, you know.
I'm looking at HS's avatar and I'm saying, holy shit, he's got the sunglasses like Wally. He's got, and then I'm thinking, oh, I get it.
You know, we're like, he's got the vitamins. Yeah, see.
Yeah, I went to the show. I got my Wally cosplay. I got my hat.
You don't have enough logos on your shirt though. You need to get the one that has like.
Well, this shirt it says Bayer Munchen on it too, and it says T-Mobile on the front. I gotta find another picture of it.
I like when Slippery got his shirt and Wally was like, nobody wears that shirt, loser.
Yeah.
Dummy.
Slippery.
It doesn't even have the champion award thing, and it doesn't.
Nobody
have
wears it anymore.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, where's his Court Jester jersey? He hasn't been wearing that shit at all. That's your favorite one.
He's like, they made fun of it. Like I said, I wanted to buy one, but it would have cost me like $300 because Lunatic, I think he made it. Like when you search his name, there's a some kind of website that pops up. I don't know if it's like a for sale thing or just people showing off their stuff, but he makes these jerseys. Like he buys a kit, like he gets the jersey and he gets the numbers and he gets the patches. And then he makes it into like, oh, this is so-and-so's 1973 jersey. And I guess there's people who are interested, but like he shared it with like this website, and you can see I guess it was a hobby he had like 10 years ago. So if you search his name, you can see these pictures of his jersey work from like 10 years ago, which is like,
I tried
whatever.
to find his eBay thing. It used to be like Darth Primacron or something like that, but I couldn't find.
I have a link to it, but it's like dead. I think he has a different account now.
Because you also mentioned about Etsy selling on Etsy as well, like his Freddy fedoras. For like the huge market there is for Freddy version 2.
I mean, like what? Like I don't even want to make fun of him because it's like, Wally, just do that. Like, just make some hats and sell some hats. Maybe it'll make you happy. Like,
I'd buy one.
But I think, Dan, what you said was really good. I mean, because like he's like this, he wants to be this YouTube guy, and like he has these 4 Freddy jerseys, right, or the sweaters or whatever you want to call them. Well, why not do what you suggested? You said like, well, this is like the Freddy 4, or I don't know whatever
Show
Freddy
a picture.
It's right. Like put it side by side, so people who might. The 3 people that might realistically be interested in it, like
Wally being one of them.
The 3 conservative black, whatever.
I'm sure Mo Reese and Queen Mustafa will love it.
I'm going to make a prediction. Within 6 months, Wally will get kicked out of the black conservative Freddy Krueger cosplay group. I guarantee it.
You're really going out on a limb on that one.
He would have to fire himself because he's the only one.
I say about 1 to 2 months, 1 to 2 months, 3 months at best.
Yeah, he's gone.
Oh well, Wendy's here. Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, just like the wind.
He's like the wind. He sneaks in. Yeah.
And then I disappear.
Where are you at these days?
Yeah, Wind, I was watching your video where you're chasing a butterfly and there's like howitzers going off in the background. Was that your one weekend a year?
Yeah,
I mean, one weekend a month?
2 weeks out of the year. It's my 2 weeks one, my final one, because I won't get the jab, the jab, hot shot.
Is that still a thing? Is that still required? I guess to go into Canada, is that still required or no?
Well, currently I'm in Virginia on a base.
Oh, I see. Oh,
I don't know who JR is. JR, who are you?
Wow. Like I said, like for me, that's JR. Oh yeah, I know who he is. He's cool.
What's up, JR?
He's cool.
Hey,
like
JR.
and subscribe.
Yeah, I'm at my I'm at my 2 weeks out of the year in Virginia. I'm not, unlike Wally, I'm not gonna disclose my location.
Ah, okay, all right, okay.
Yeah, I thought it was fun, like he's chasing a butterfly, and all of a sudden you hear kabam, kabam! Like what the fuck? And you had like army boots on. I'm like, oh, he must be doing his thing.
Yeah,
Is that what you call it?
Right now, I'm dealing with right now. I've decided to take some of my focus off of Wally, and put it and these pickup artists decide to show their face and spread their nonsense.
Yeah, no, fuck that shit. Come back to Wally. It's more fun.
No.
Anybody who gives Windy any shit, if they come to New York, in particular Brooklyn, and in particular my neighborhood, I'll take them out.
Yeah.
Hey, look.
But you got to drive here because it's too expensive.
You got to take the train.
Yeah. Man, I wouldn't know. Man, I've been through New York. I've been through New Jersey. Boy, that place is. Look, when I say, why is it that y'all say have low clearance bridges, but yet you can fit a semi truck under it? Is it for the snow or something?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
We have that out, like where my place of business is. There's an underpass where the LIRR goes over, and it's for whatever reason, I don't know. What is the standard? 12.4? 13
foot 6, 13 foot 6 inches.
Right. Okay. All right. That's the interesting thing.
Hidden's like, what's a foot?
Yeah, it's like 12. It's like more.
How many stones is that?
12 something, but a regular truck can get down there because I guess they want a extra. They want to give some extra leeway, so they mark it less than what it actually is. I guess. I don't know. That's the case in that one, but all the big trucks can get under it, and they already know it. But it's marked shallower than it actually is.
Slippery Savage Cock wants to know what's going on, Esteban. Have you called your friend?
No, you know what? I actually should call Esteban. I kind of miss him a little bit. We had a really good conversation. He sounds like a nice guy.
He's my friend, and you can't have him.
Yeah.
You tried to break him up.
No, I didn't want to break anybody.
He tried to break. That was one of the things when he's ranting about all the legal stuff we did. They're like, they did this and they did this, and they tried to break up my friendship with Esteban.
You put your friend's number on a live stream.
And you secretly recorded him and made content with him. Like, dude.
And you literally put your location when you was panning back and forth on a live stream.
I've been like somewhere out there. There's video of him getting the cops came when he was in his car, but I don't think I have it. I got it somewhere. One of you guys has to send me the video. Where
I'm kind of a little proud though. I have to say, because like when he goes through his whole rant of things that people have done to him. Oh, they made YouTube profiles, and they made YouTube profiles, and they tried to get me kicked out of my home. And what else is in there? And they libeled me, and they slandered me, and they tried
death threats.
Death threats, threatening emails. You get the threatening emails. And then at the very last one, they tried to break up my friendship with Esteban.
Police!
You did that yourself. He did that himself.
No, I never do anything wrong.
Did we ever clarify what he means with the death threats? Like, what is he alluding to? Because I never could figure that out. Like, I don't know if anybody.
Once Slippery got that, because Wally emailed all the Masons, and Slippery had that, and there was stuff in that, but it wasn't like I'm gonna come and murder you. It was
right.
Like,
I don't ever recall anybody. I mean, I've said shit here, but
I never said I was gonna do anything to him.
Nobody ever said anything. You know,
right.
actually, I mean. Talk about death threats. What he said to me and what he said to Dan probably would qualify closer to what a death threat is. But I mean, nobody's, he always brings that up, and that kind of bothers me because notwithstanding everything else he says is bullshit, but that's really, really bad bullshit because nobody's ever, his death threat or inciting death. This inciting stuff, I don't even know what that's all about. You're on YouTube and you say all kinds of crazy shit, and we comment on it, and other people see how crazy the shit is, and then they comment on it. That's not inciting. That's spreading knowledge.
Right.
Yeah, he likes inciting sounds like legal terminology. Like he does what he said about me, false pretenses. He's like, he contacted my leasing for false pretenses. It sounds like, and again, he doesn't understand what the law is, but he just uses these words, because they sound spooky and scary, and like a lawyer is gonna listen to him.
The crazy thing is like when I showed when I was walking the video, it says, well, I was walking the tree line, and it's like I never said it was like about death threats.
Who's SWW?
I don't know what SWW is. I feel like he's making fun of my shirt. Are you making fun of my shirt? It's like
slippery when wet. It's you.
Oh, slippery when wet. Oh, okay.
The thing is,
I thought it was like big beautiful white woman. I thought it was like doing that.
BFF or MILF.
Yeah, so something like that.
I remember when they doxed Slippery,
Yeah, everything he accuses people of, he's done in spades. But when he does it, it's like and you'll call him out. You'll be like, "But Wally, you did this." It's like, "Oh yeah, well, you said the thing about me on the internet." Like he always, if you say boo about him, he can murder your family now. It's like
there's
it's allowed.
No evidence to support that. He's
got an aerial view of my house with a big dumb red arrow saying that's where he films from, and then
he is done.
Well, listen, I made my video to make fun of that, and the point went over his head. He's like, Dan did this to me. I'm like, you just did it to Slippery. That's why I did it.
Yeah, remember the one rant? They've put up blueprints of where I live,
because you did it to Slippery.
Mission Impossible too,
I even said it in my video. I'm like, I'm doing this to make fun of Wally, but he's not going to get it. And of course, it went. Oh, he's just like, police, look, he put a floor plan of my house. Like, Wally, it's a floor plan of your unit on the website. It's not actually your house.
Your unit is a cookie cutter. It's a cookie cutter unit.
And also, he showed his house so much that that's how I know it's his, because everything matches up. There's the where the kitchen is, and
that's the fucking with Maga Man PLLC. That's or LLC.
The pothole.
His HR department's going to be all over me.
Wouldn't you just love to be a fly on the wall?
I literally could triangulate it that he's right next to a Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he drives to another one for some reason.
Yeah, that's not his most.
Because he probably got banned from that one. Like, sir, you can't come back in here. Like,
I bet you're right. I bet you he would have talked about it. He would have been like, they came. He would have been like WinterCon. He would have been like, I didn't do anything wrong. I just punched someone in the face because they looked at me funny.
Remember
North Carolina,
the man with a million loose ends. Where was the one where he got into a fight in a parking lot with a black kid who hit his car? I mean, that whole thing. That story came and went.
Did you ever notice whenever he gets triggered, and this has happened in the last 6 months, at least 6 to a dozen times, he's got like a little compressed WinterCon story. I said, and I went there, and they took my helmet and a security guard, and these guys threw me under the bus. So he can like do the whole WinterCon story. He can compress it into like 300 words in one of his little rants. And he said it about a dozen times. So like he did a whole video on the whole WinterCon thing, but now he's got a little packaged WinterCon kind of thing when he wants to just get through it quick, just for his video. And when he's doing
Slippery, I think you missed it last week. Let me see if we'll play the first 2 minutes of it. Did you watch the Freddy video, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
there are a bunch of been crazy hate ones.
Here's the beginning of his Freddy video.
What's going on, everyone? So, as you guys know,
just that picture right there is
I talk about this, that I used to cosplay as the Return of the Jedi Darth Vader for several Star Wars groups in New York City. Unfortunately, I was severely mistreated by one of them.
There you go.
I was pretty much thrown under the bus because of an event that took place at a buddy of mine who runs a convention. His convention is called WinterCon.
There we go.
WinterCon.
There it is. Yeah.
And an unruly security guard unfortunately picked a fight with me. And
this is about Freddy sweaters, everybody.
Thrown under the bus by them so that they can protect their public image and their 501c status. And obviously, you guys know I have been attacked by these people because that's all they care about is their free tickets and stuff. But one of the things I used to also do.
But anyway.
But anyway, here are my Freddy jerseys.
Imagine you tune in to like learn about Freddy sweaters, and that's the first minute. You're like, what?
Just stop after saying, imagine you tune in to learn about Freddy sweaters.
Yeah. Like it's already a very small, it's a very small population, but then and also that video I cut it, but the video starts off with, Trump and the crown. It's like, what is going on? Like, this is about Freddy Krueger. Like, it's a very narrow niche. It's black conservative Trump supporters who are into Freddy sweaters, which is him. That's he's the only person on the planet.
Now, can you imagine if
crazy?
you
were...
Yeah.
What the heck was that?
No.
But
I think.
What's crazy is that the fact that now my unit, they already know. They know I live stream. They know I'm a YouTube, and they know there's nothing they can do to stop me. I don't show any confidential things, but my whole unit knows that I'm. Right. My whole unit knows that I live stream and do YouTube. And the funny thing about it is they've seen some of they've been studying a lot of Maga Man stuff, and they've seen
you share his stuff?
No, I don't have to. They just look at it. And when they correlate when I came up with my latest with one of my latest videos on Maga Man. They correlated his reaction to my video, and I got called and pretty much I'm an evil genius now, because I was able to get him to route up from at least 2 or 3 states away. Think about it. I'm able to get him route up calmly.
Oh yeah. The world is much smaller now.
Yeah, the world's much smaller.
Wally tried to get me and Slippery arrested from 800 miles away, so,
But first and foremost is like, you haven't done anything. You don't travel. You don't travel to the north, to and from North Carolina. You have nothing to worry about.
I was about 20 minutes from his house once. I was visiting Florida. We had to stop over. And like it was like only a 45-minute layaway, but I was joking with my wife. I'm like, hey, maybe we could rent a car and we'll swing by.
We'll swing by and say hi.
I'll stand like 50 feet away from his house. I'll keep taking a step forward while he's out there with his gun. Don't come any closer. And I go like this.
Can you only imagine what? Can you only imagine what he's saying on his live stream now? Now in New York, you have the Second Amendment on your side. So if somebody comes to your house, or there's a vagabond at your front door, or there's a vagabond in your garden, you can just blow them right the fuck away now. Now that you have the second, it's all silliness.
You're roboting.
Oh, sorry. You got that shitty military.
I was in North Carolina last year visiting a friend. I think in Winston-Salem. It was about an hour away from where Wally was. And I was so close. I didn't have a car at the time. I was so close to renting a car and going down there. I may go down. There's a chance I may go down again in a month or two, but I'll be driving with my ugly kids. So we all want to go like as a tourist destination. We want to go to Wally World. And we want to find exactly where the property line is and like stand on the edge and take pictures.
HS, do you need some blue barrels? I have some barrels. For protection.
Wally would record. He'd have a camera out. He would call his friends. He'd call the police. He'd be like, "Look at what they're doing."
Oh, I'm gonna get some chili pepper and some Vaseline and a cone, and I'm gonna lube it up. And I'm gonna trip Wally, and he'll accidentally fall on it. Be like one of those 1 in a million Doc things, and I'll have a fucking chili pepper cone up his ass.
Doesn't his complex have his complex has benches? I do believe, right? Does it still have benches?
Minimum. But there's certain restrictions here. But after that,
I'm live streaming Wally's live stream. I just wanted to see if I could do it. Mystery solved.
Just about anything that's
him live.
So long as it's not
you're the cause of this,
except for dirks, daggers,
spring-loaded
knives.
Dirks. What the fuck is a dirk?
A monkey face.
Wally's a dirk.
Yeah, you're still roboting.
Ah, damn. Well, but what I was saying is, like, first things foremost, I do believe this complex has benches, right? Last time I was down there.
We know it has a garbage compactor.
Let's bring up a floor plan. Wally likes it when I do that.
I mean, park benches, like park benches, like for sitting down whenever you're tired, taking a walk.
You mean like a common area? I'm sure it must have a common area. Yeah. You know. You know what? I might even try to befriend somebody in the complex since I've had relatively good success with Esteban. I might randomly befriend somebody down there. I'll visit them. Why not?
I have somebody. I called somebody and I've been emailing them anytime Wally does anything crazy. But I don't know if they're actually on the grounds or they control. Like they may be above the complex.
If I go there, I'm just going to go to the leasing office and go, yes, I'm here to speak to Shitty, please.
Wow. Well, I joked about it. I joked about it in one of my videos. I'm like, I want to go to his leasing office just to see what Wally would do, because Wally would be like, okay, 2A, he's not on my property, but he's at the leasing office. Like, Wally would try to figure out, like, can he shoot me or not if I'm at the leasing office.
His property is not the grass, right? So he's full of fucking crap right there.
It's inside his unit. Anything outside his unit isn't his. I
right.
mean,
well, no, we know that, but he's like, I could go out to my car. And it's like he's playing. It's like base. He like touches the car and then he can shoot you. Like
you mean vehicle?
He thinks.
You mean vehicle?
Vehicle, yes. Or his automobile. One video hit was his automobile.
What happened? Did he get the paint job? Do we find out? I mean, that's another
man of a million loose ends.
I think he said he's driving it, so the glass must have been because the glass was like right on the driver's side.
Plastic bag.
His car is too old. His car is too old to get a paint job. His car is much too old to get a paint job.
But that doesn't mean Wally didn't try to get money for it and just pocket the fucking money, like, because he would do that in a second.
If anything, he would probably get. He would, if anything, if his door got dinged, he would probably rolling down the street with a red car with a blue door.
I heard him talking about his tire cover with all this stuff. I think he was in Maurice's in a live stream or in somewhere, maybe Queen Mustafa or whoever she is.
Did he show that tire cover? They would crack up.
He was talking about it, and he like kind of said, "Oh, I just got rid of that because it was just too much trouble or whatever." He admitted what any rational person knew before.
It might have been the like all he needed was the insurance guy to be like, yeah, if you do that, people are gonna fuck with your car. Oh, okay, like that may have been enough to like knock some sense into
I mean, if you're the insurance guy, you say, look, you know what, we could if they probably have some kind of clause somewhere that says, hey, if you do this, we're not going to cover your car because you're asking for trouble. So he might maybe hinted at it and said, continue to do this.
That's interesting. If you say you spray paint your car, fuck black people. It's like the insurance going to be like, yeah, don't do that.
I'm sure they have 1,000 lawyers and paperwork in their policy somewhere that if it's possible. I don't know that it is, but maybe you dropped a hint to him and said, you know what, theoretically, if something happens again, it's kind of causing all this attention. You're drawing attention to it. We could decline, to cover it, maybe, but because usually
maybe they made a note like we told him not to do this, so if it happens,
because Wally's one of the few people I know that actually doubles down on stupidity, and on this one he didn't.
Wow, that's rare. Maybe you should have a
because it was money involved. That's why that's
right.
When I mentioned he mentions that he's super straight, right?
Yeah.
So with being super straight, you would have to have tried it at least once or twice, right?
Yes.
So that's how you would be considered super straight. And if you see the live stream with my unit called Father's Day Gaggle Fuck, you'll hear their thoughts. And Yam kind of took over, because he still has some frustrations with Wally, but for the most part.
Yeah, he's over. Yeah, he's moved
Wally's
on
got
from
10
Wally.
viewers, and I got 5. Come on, guys, we were ahead a while ago.
How many thumbs up does he got?
Yeah, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna let y'all. This is your cat skin. I'm just holding the tail.
That's a good one. I haven't heard that.
He doesn't have any. Wally doesn't. All right, man. See ya. Wally doesn't have any likes.
Oh, well, that's this. Well, that's something to hang our hats on, isn't it?
Yep. But he's got the chats go. I see. Oh, I see. Plastic in a Tree was in the chat. Very exciting.
Yeah, I saw that earlier when you were live streaming his stream.
Plastic in the Tree. I heard him mention something, and I think it was in one of Wally's live stream. And it made me feel a little bad for the guy. He said he was married once, but his wife died in like her late 20s. And I'm like, oh wow, that could really, that could leave some lasting bad feelings, or
he seems like a normal dude. Like
I
don't
think
know why he's
I think
backing
he is.
Wally, but whatever.
I think he just thinks that we're probably just being dicks and bullies to Wally, and Wally in the long term is just a poor lost soul. Like we all know he kind of is, but fuck Wally, I don't care.
I'm looking at the chat of Wally's live stream now. Sifu is in there once.
He's
got a wrench,
so
that's
Sifu.
good.
Come
and
on
some
over
guy,
here, buddy.
RAS Illusion, is like who's all over the place, whoever that is.
Sifu's like, fuck you, troll.
How is
Make
Sifu?
fun of Maga Man. He's my friend.
Every once in a while, I used to duck in and take a look at what he was doing, but I haven't followed him. How is Malaya doing? Did you catch up with Malaya? Is she all right now, or? I know she was having something with her fingers.
He doesn't drag her out very much anymore.
There was some delamination of her fingers or something, but I didn't keep up with it.
We suspect he may have tried to clean her improperly, and something is happening to the latex, which would suck because I think she's like $2,000, and there's probably no warranty because nobody else wants to handle that after the client has it. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think you can
that's
return
yours now. Yes.
No. That's yeah.
Please don't send anything back to us in the mail. Just throw it out. We'll send you another one.
How do you dispose of something like that? Oh, I guess Wally would. How does Wally dispose of his latex?
He doesn't.
Do you recycle that? Do you put it in the bin? Do you put it in the blue bin?
You put it in the bin.
I'm creeped out by that childlike thing. I mean, I just like
the people at the recycling plant, like there's cans and bottles going by all of a sudden, just like a torso pussy thing. Like,
it's very, very creepy stuff.
You put it in a suitcase, put it at the curb.
with like ketchup all over it.
The person that opens it be like, "Oh my god!"
It flumps out on the floor.
Yeah, don't do it in front of your own people. Put it in front of someone that you hate on garbage day. The guy's like, "Hey, this is kind of heavy. What's in here?" He opens it up. Oh my god!
But I mean, you think about it too. Since we're concentrating on all the Wally stuff, think about how his videos have evolved since we first saw him on.
They've
YouTube.
evolved. I feel like it's the same exact shit.
Well, not evolved,
changed
but
in genre, right? There used to be like
sort
the
of,
bad ones and
yeah.
about the family. Now it's just he's invented himself as this Maga Man, hating everybody.
I mean,
but I feel like some stressful thing will happen, and he'll go right back into crying.
Well, we know that because we have years of history with him, right?
Yeah,
like it wasn't that long ago that he had he was lamenting about like how hard it is for him to go through this thing, like us making fun of his content that's taken its toll on him.
Yeah, that was only a couple weeks ago.
That wasn't that long. I mean, we're really due for something,
because his health has been great.
Yeah,
his health, no problems there. Right?
But that's the thing right. His health, he hasn't complained about anything. He said,
he hasn't
everything
hawked
is
up
good.
a loogie in his hand in at least a year. There you go.
Maybe it's time for Esteban to go to the hospital.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm getting to, right? Just when you think everything is calm and he's just doing his huffing and puffing political videos that are over and over again, there's going to be something. And I just can't wait for the next thing. There's always something. There's when the car got the window smashed, and then the drive-by shooting, and
I love that. Started out, it was Kevin called Esteban. Then my window broke. Has to be related. And then he's like, "Oh, actually, it's the kids. They on the bikes. They threw a rock." But initially, it was somehow related.
That was the salad tongue episode.
But that's the way his mind works. Like in his dumb world, it's like two bad things happen. They have to be related, even if it's like Kevin called Esteban, car broke my window. Related.
And then it magically happened.
You know what I think I'm going to do, Wally? If you check into this later, Wally, I'm going to send Esteban the link for the video I made where you show where he gives out his phone number and where he doxes himself and where you're record this. I'm just going to send it to him just so he knows. Yeah, I'm going to text him. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. Yeah. So
speaking of that, do you have? Is it time? Do you have the C?
Oh, I don't have. No, I don't have it. I don't have it here today. I probably do have it, but it's buried, and I probably can't find. We'll have to forego that. Hold on.
Dan was all excited for his bit.
Hold on. Give me a second. Talk about something else. Give me a second.
I'm going to send it to him. I actually have it. Let's see.
What's that?
Do you have it? I'm going to.
Wait, hold on.
I'm going to take this time to remind Maga Man that the Lord of the Bible is a monotheism. So the whole wearing Odin's hammer and all of this.
Oh, that's all paganism, right?
Yeah, God was like,
hold on,
false idols, like you'll get in trouble.
Hold on.
The Germanic warrior tribe shit, right? There's another loose end that he went nowhere with.
Yeah, that never recovered.
Well, I feel like he's done with, like he just.
This isn't it.
He proved you wrong. Like he has. He's a Germanic warrior, and you're not.
He does the Catholic cross over the Germanic paganism symbols, and then thinks he's not going to hell.
Oh, I thought this was it, but this is for my transperitoneal prostate biopsy. So this isn't it. Yeah, I'm not going to read that.
Well,
I could make a new intro real quick, and you can read it.
Hold on, let me pick out something good here for our.
Oh, you have it? I was going to send it to you.
No, I have it. I found it. Okay. I dug it out.
All right, while you're looking, here we go. And now, it's time for Slippery Reads, a random part of the document Wally mailed him, that Wally refers to as a cease and desist, but is really just the notarized ramblings of a probable crazy person. Here we go, our semi-weekly segment.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, another segment of Wally's famous cease and desist order.
Brought to you by Vitamin C with no rose hips.
Absolutely. So, cease and desist order. Stealing and re-uploading personal videos and or images of myself without permission, neither written nor spoken, This was done in order to publicly humiliate and or degrade my character, mental state, and to create a false narrative about my background and or reputation.
And or.
Your actions have incited others to do the same throughout social media. Blatantly accusing me publicly of shooting through my walls in my apartment and or using legal air guns and or other legal less lethal weapons for self-defense in order to cause harm and or intentionally and or maliciously target minorities.
Maliciously. Oh, when I said he was shooting black people from the balcony, that's what he's talking about.
But target minorities and or people of color to cause bodily harm.
It's right there on Dan's right nipple.
What people of color
I forget. Did he really say people of color?
Yes, it says people of color to cause
Maybe
bodily
yours is different
harm.
than mine.
No. Also,
you
have falsely accused me of attempting and or premeditating any other form of malicious behavior while impugning my character and psychological state. Any and all items that I own and or show on my YouTube channel are legal in the state of North Carolina. That's another segment of Wally cease this to Dan King and
Very
Kevin.
Good, excellent.
Thank you. I'm glad I found it.
We must have the same one. I don't remember the people of color business. I just by accident.
Yeah, the people of color.
This episode was brought to you by
Dan. You fucking up. You gotta play
by vitamin B12 without rose hips.
Don't get rose hips, guys. It's bullshit.
So you gotta make another video where you say, and this has been Slippery When Wet reading.
Like I said, I was going to do an outro, but it takes so goddamn long to do it. I gave up. It was like an hour.
Oh, you know something? Dan, you got to look at yours. This cease and desist is not binding. It's not binding. Zoom in on this.
You mean it's not legal?
It's not legal. Oh, hold on.
Because he didn't sign it or some shit.
He fucking notarized it like a moron.
With who? Just himself?
He just went to a notary.
Okay, but just look at the notary.
Oh no!
I think it's the notaries. I'm looking at it and it says, you see the date, December 4th, 2023. I thought that was the date, but that's probably when the notary
expires.
Yeah, he has to re-notary his notary or something.
Yeah. Oh, I got a little excited. I thought he might have to send us a new one that was more valid, but I was wrong.
Do you think the notary read that? Like, is that part of their job? They have to read what they're notarizing?
I think they do have to.
They have to review the document.
He's basically getting his $25 off of Wally.
Yeah, like Wally spent like I don't know, it's like $10 maybe. He spent like $20, and then he certified mailed it. Like his whole project was probably like $30-$40 to like send.
Well, do you think he went to Walmart, going up and down the aisles, asking anybody if they were a notary? Because obviously he probably didn't go to a bank. You know, because usually a bank will have a notary there.
I think like a UPS store just does it. You just go to a UPS store. I did it a couple times.
Just need a witness. You can get anybody to sign it.
Actually, notaries. I don't know if it's a federal thing or a state thing, but it's like really, it's kind of hard to be a notary. Like there's this weird test you have to take.
Yeah.
Like it's not something simple. It's like it's a weird thing.
You know, remember when he filled out the court papers and he's got his chicken scratch there? He's written it out, and these men. Can you imagine being what did you say? HS, haranguing.
Yeah.
That's what haranguing the court.
That's a great word.
The person at the courts, like with this, they're looking at it. And
well, the thing with you and me, Slippery, was like it's like there's a check mark. It's like this happened in North Carolina, right? And while he's like, yup. And then it goes all the way to the judge, and they're like, we can't like serve this to them because they're in another state, idiot.
Yeah, I remember.
That's why the box is on there.
I remember you going to there was some website there, and you looking it up, putting your name in or something, and looking it up at some website.
Yeah, because Wally every other day he made a video. It was like, you guys are in trouble. Oh, the court date's coming.
Right.
I'm like, if there's a court date they have to notify me. They just can't not notify me, then have a court thing, and then go, oh, Dan didn't show up while he wins. Like, that's not a thing.
Well, we're still waiting for his windfall so he can finally sue the pants off you.
Yeah, right.
Good. Some lawyer's going to be like, okay, and I'm going to have to, like, Kevin and I are going to have to deal with weird fucking lawyer shit.
Can you imagine if the reason why they were being looked at for false crap was because of Maga Man being involved with them?
Who?
They're like, well, look at this. Like, he was wearing that shirt for, like, that thing where the guy's trying to fight for the people that were at 9/11 to get the money and shit. He got looked into because they were like, half of these people are fraud. Like, you have to be doing more diligence on this.
Can you imagine that? Because of all his vitriol and all his stupid bullshit.
Imagine if it was him
that somebody like catches wind of this guy and then sees it, and then his whole gravy train is doing nothing, got derailed because of his own big mouth and his.
I think it was Black Pill Radio was like, dude, just shut up about your income source like a normal person, and just like don't tell anyone how you make your money. But like he's such a loudmouth, he's gonna get in trouble.
Yeah. I
mean, just count your stars that you got what you got. And you don't have to.
It's just incredible to me.
Going to stop them from coming for you if you're fucking breaking the law.
What was the thing we said? If he was in Goodfellas, he would have been the guy that walks into the bar after Lufthansa heist, and he would have been wearing like a Mr. T starter set of gold chains and a fur coat. That would have been Wally, and it would have been a Rolls outside or something like that. That would have been him.
He has a big hat with a feather in it.
I just went back to Wally. He's got the same screenshot on. Oh, we got him by one. Well done, everybody. We're ahead of Wally by one. Wally, we should do this every week. Let's have we can compete.
Well, isn't Wally just live streaming the governor's address? I mean, isn't that all he's doing and commenting?
No, he just has he has a screenshot of a gun and an article, and he's just talking on his.
He's just talking. Is anybody else in his?
He doesn't. I don't think he invites anybody because he can't. Nightbot can't attack anybody who's in.
That's right. There was no Nightbot. Where's
Nightbot? What happened? Yeah. What happened?
It wasn't. I thought Nightbot was in it. Let's see. Look.
I didn't see Nightbot in the live
name to Whitebot.
I saw Nightbot. Yeah, I saw Nightbot earlier on.
I want a completely different subject. HS, how's your practice going? Just
it's coming along.
Yeah,
he's falling asleep over there. We gotta. You should drink some alcohol and sleeping pills. To wake you up.
I've been working. I was in my office treating patients all day Monday, and then went to my other office. Was there till 11 at night, putting in flat screens with my IT guy.
Oh, okay.
And then it's. I've been working like 14-hour days.
Oh,
I gotta get up.
We get it. You have an IT guy. We get it.
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, dude. So I need help. So
if I was there, I'd help you out. Good. I'm not. I'm here.
Good. Yeah.
I'll be there tomorrow night after work, and then all day Saturday, and it's just what I do. So actually, I got to get up at 4:30. I usually get up at 4:30 to hit the gym before I go to work. So I'll sign off soon. But thanks for asking.
Yeah, no, good.
It's killing me slowly.
I think about going to the gym in the morning, but then I realize that I'm tired. I just stay in bed. Bed's so
other
comfortable.
Than treating patients and getting a practice together and doing all those good things, think of the alternative. You could be at home making videos about politics and going to Walmart.
Fuck watching my kids win their World Series in baseball, and
you can monetize and make dozens of dollars.
I saw some of that cool stuff. Cool beans, man.
It was crazy. Actually,
cool beans. I saw that.
11-year-old, his team made it all the way to the championship, which
that's kind of awesome. Yeah.
I have to say, it was some of the best baseball I've ever seen. It was like, bottom of the last inning. They were tied up. They came back 8 runs.
Yeah.
It was tied up.
Wow.
It was down to 2 outs in the last run, and then they won, and it was like mayhem. Wally wouldn't know the joy of any of this shit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
It's not great anymore.
And at the end of the day, this is what I find. So just tying it back to
Wally's gonna be like, "Fuck baseball." Baseball was created by the liberals.
I don't know. I don't know about Hidden, but to you guys, happy belated Father's Day. Wally,
I was waiting for a Wally cry fest, but that
I thought so too.
I'm actually technically a grandfather. I think.
Are you really?
My wife's daughter had a child recently, so I guess I'm a grandfather now.
Yeah,
good.
So Slippery, I meant to ask, are you a grandfather?
No, I'm not. No.
See, that's funny because what's his name?
He's aware of.
But Jumpluff used to call you Gramps, but technically I'm Gramps.
Yeah. No, my son got married last year. My son's 28. His wife is 26.
Oh, any day now.
You know what? I don't know. I don't ask. You know what happens.
Yeah, no, don't be that. Don't be that guy.
I don't want to be that guy.
When are you guys having kids? Like the millennials
right,
hate that shit.
So at the end of the day, I guess what we're getting at is we have real lives, right, with jobs and families, and Wally's got YouTube.
Yeah, right. It's like
he's got Mo. He's got Mo Reese, and he's protecting Mo Reese's grandkid.
You keep forgetting
as long
Shardy.
As the perpetrator comes to him after he does something to Mo Reese.
You keep forgetting Shardy. Why are you picking on Shardy, man?
Was it Shardy or Shitty? I thought it was
shitty, but I'm picturing which Shaddy, Shitty, Shardy.
We haven't seen much of that crew, which I thought was funny because there's another video that Wally made when he says something like he said something like the trans people are the people that you don't invite to the party or something like that. And I was like, wasn't he hanging out at a barbecue with his trans friend? Like what a fucked up thing to say.
Because they don't watch his shit, right? He goes on. I mean, how many? This again.
But
unfuckables and the bull ring in the nose people, and that's why they have a limp and a club foot and blah 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 blah. And Wally is the most misshapen fucking ass face looking, no eyebrow, doughy piece of shit there is, you know.
In one minute, like he was being redundant too. He's like, they're fat and overweight. Like,
but you know what? He's jealous because he doesn't have a cock of a nose like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, fantasizing about your mouth on his dick. Nothing wrong with that, folks.
We've heard it a million times, and clearly even his new audience is going to hear this dozens of times in the coming months. I wonder at what point are they like, okay, you know, this shit is old. We got it, you trolls. We got it, WinterCon, whatever that is.
Look,
yeah. Well, he did the same thing with the MGTOW guys. He like exhausted them. And that's when I appeared. I'm like, hey, while he talks about like the evil, like Satan worshiping trolls, I'm like, here I am. Got any questions for me?
Just think about this, and this his last channel was proof of that, right? So he somebody will see a thumbnail or YouTube will promote it and will come up about the SCOTUS Second Amendment case that came out today, and there'll be somebody genuinely excited about it and say, let me click on this, and then you'll hear him rant and rave about it, and like, okay, you're like this guy excited about the Second Amendment New York case. I like his politics. Subscribe, right? And you watch 2 or 3 more of his videos, and like they might still be subscribed, but they're long gone. And that was his last channel because he had like 1,800 subscribers. But then when you would look at the videos and look at Dan's videos, Dan would get many more views and likes than Wally ever got. And this is going in the same direction.
And I got a fourth of his subscribers too. Like
yeah.
Wally's got 455 subscribers. He's got 9 people watching the live stream now. Last video 84. Before that 33 views. Before that 26 views. The one on SCOTUS 91 views, 60 views. So yeah, he doesn't get shit,
Yeah, and the last one is just because, like, if it comes up and it says SCOTUS does the, I'm sure there are people on YouTube that are interested in that decision and might go on YouTube and it might come up just because he's got the right keywords, and that's why he's got a couple more than average. But like, I've got his, I think we've all got his game down. Like, there might be somebody that catches somebody and says, "Oh, I'll sub to this guy," or like the other thing. Think about it. The one thing I found out too that like when I sub to people's channel, they reciprocate and sub to my channel. How many people has Wally subbed to? He's probably subbed to more than 500 people. So, he's probably subbed to 1,000 people.
Well, he did that on Facebook, right? He had 1,000, whatever the maximum.
I think he was friends, one time he showed his screen and it was YouTube, and on the left you could see the subscribers, and it was like 400 and something.
Yeah, right.
People that he subscribed to.
If he's got 450 subscribers now, that means that everybody he subscribed to him. So he's, come on, and yeah, that's right. He was a Facebook friend spammer because he would spam, like he would friend you and he would friend your entire Facebook friends list, whether he ever spoke to the person or not.
He would friend bomb you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, this is I every now and again I check out Mo Reese's channel and I scroll through his live stream until I see Wally's avatar. And then I let go when I play, and this is what I recorded when I stopped playing. Like the 2 seconds I saw Wally, I didn't even watch the whole live stream, but this is what I got.
Running around,
See, I talked about this on my old channel. I'm a victim of this myself. I'm still fighting for my kids because Mo and many people know I've been attacked by these scumbag, jealous assholes from New York City that don't like the fact that I have things and stuff they wish they had, and they literally sniff the underside of my ball sack. They can't be me. They won't be me. They were jealous of my kids. They were jealous of her. They put Craigslist ads out there. They put fake Facebook profiles out there. Even recently, I got death threats. They were calling my leasing office to get me thrown out of here. They called my best friend in South Charlotte.
That's me. That's me.
Friendship. And it's been going on. And when I finally have the funds, I'm going to be suing these bastards. But in the meantime, she believed everything that she saw and accused me of sleeping with other women. And as
Mo, give me a cigarette, Mo.
As a result, I'm having issues with that now. My kid's got a room. I'm not a pothead. No offense to you guys.
My kids have a room.
You're doing that. I'm not a rapist.
I smoke Molly.
Yeah, but I have my.
One guy's got a good
mine's for medical use, so that's okay.
Yeah, that's not what I mean. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? But I'm not a criminal. I'm not a felon. I'm not a pedo or any of that stuff.
Yeah, pedo.
But then again, of course, it's
why say it?
New York City, and when they're taking my child support and paying for these
his child
Rainbow,
support, his child support.
Club, who's and their man skirts and man purses.
But their other buddy likes
reading books to our kids. I don't want my son being raised to be a woman, but that's what the system did to me, and I'm still fighting to this day.
The system raised Wally to be a woman.
And what you just said right there.
Is that what he just said?
He will get kicked out of there because he's going on about hating Hitler, and meanwhile,
but
you know,
everyone just got all quiet and they didn't even ask him any follow up. They're like, whatever.
Yeah, right. Here he goes. Yeah,
Hitler in a bad way. They're like, oh, fuck this guy.
But they're going to hear that over and over again. Anytime he goes on, they're going to hear that over and over again. And then you're like, wouldn't you want to be the guy? Like, I don't know how the CMPD does it, but can you imagine Wally walking into an NYPD precinct and getting like the sergeant, and he's like, okay, explain to me your problem. Well, they made fake Facebook profiles. Okay. Yeah. What else you got?
Who's they?
Yeah. Right. How do you know these people? Well, and then you go down that rabbit hole with him. And by the time like a seasoned New York cop got done with him, like he'd say, get the fuck out of here. This is the world. This is no, you're not talking about any criminality here. You're talking about the real world. You choose to do this stuff online and you got to live with the ramifications of it. So get the fuck out of here.
And everyone he's ran this by said this. I remember True Shrimp saying it to him.
Yeah.
I remember Hidden trying to straighten him out once. It's like you're on YouTube, and you're not just on YouTube talking about Freddy Krueger shit. Like you're on YouTube saying everyone in New York should die, and Dan King, and this guy, and let me tell you about these guys, and this. Like he's instigating, he's poking and prodding. And when he gets pushed back, he cries and runs to the authorities. It's like
every single time. And what does he mean when he uses this with women generally? Skin mask. What is that skin mask? What is that? I
don't know. Anybody he thinks is unattractive. It's one of his things for unattractive, right? I don't know.
Yeah, the only thing I think of is what do you call it? Silence of the Lambs. A skin mask.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what he's talking about. I mean,
again, it's probably because Wally is creepy and awful. It's like cutting a person's face and putting it in your face.
Yeah,
for fun.
If Savage would be okay with it, you should play his video on your thing because there's a little nod to a Silence of the Lambs in it in Wally.
Jeff Stantos, MAGA Army, legal sex doll notaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wally
like a single mom that doesn't have her kids.
The video I played before when he had he's going through my description, it was like #bully, #cyberbully. And Wally made a video this week where he's like, "We should bully the gays. It's our it's our turn." It's like the jocks are going to take over and he's the guy who's like, "I'm being bullied. Can you believe it?"
Everything he equates with the cool kids taking over the playground. But apparently he always says that he was bullied as a kid, so I guess he didn't take over the playground. So,
but like Babu pointed out, like Wally wasn't bullied. Wally would say stupid shit to the wrong crowd, and they would kick his ass.
Wonder if he ever shit those red pants.
Red
leather pants.
But
that would bubble up and come out the top.
But this is the guy that he's got his Germanic whatever Odin and his thing and this is the guy that says he he saw a drive-by shooting, or he probably whatever.
It's the worst thing he ever saw.
Yeah, right. After 9/11, he saw
even though he saw a body like disintegrate on the pile. That's
right.
That's yesterday's news.
He needed a full day with a friend to come over to babysit him and hold his hand and say it's okay, so you don't have a panic attack. So what kind of fucking Germanic warrior could he have been? He go to the battle and he saw some guy get stabbed and he's like, "Oh, hold on, guys, I got to go home. I'm having a panic attack." Let me go back.
Can you imagine?
Let me go back.
They're all on the battlefield with axes that come with blood of their enemies.
Guy gets an axe through his head on the tribal warrior battlefield. Guys, this is too much for me.
Where's Walter? He's back in the tent. He's upset about something. He saw someone's hand get cut off.
He's back with Estanovitz at the village. And
meanwhile, the guy that got his hand cut off, that Wally got upset about, he's back on the battlefield. They just they cauterized the wound, and he just gave him one sword.
Yeah,
and he's
the guy
back
that he's supposed to help protect. He's like his wingman. He's
fine.
He's a Monty Python guy. He's got his thing cut off, and the blood is spurting out. Where's Wally? He's supposed to have my back. Oh, he had a panic attack. He headed back to the village. He's with Esteban, is sitting with him now, but he'll be okay. And the guy's got the blood spurting out of his hand that just got chopped
Somehow
off.
There's a man named Esteban back at the Dramatic Warrior Hut.
He's got an emotional support Costa Rican to keep him company.
Oh, maybe he's a captured slave. Because did they get that far? They probably didn't get down that far.
I mean, maybe he's got maybe Esteban is his farmer.
My people enslaved Wally's people, but Wally doesn't want to hear that story.
Yeah. And there's no Modelo beer because that was made by
and
Tico's
my people financed the whole
thing.
Your people are good with money. That's why they were marching across the Brooklyn Bridge. Fuck this shit!
With Trump flags.
Fuck this shit! That's how we ended that one.
But I mean, his the way his brain works is kind of fascinating, right? Because
wait, it doesn't work. Stop.
Well, I mentioned it in a video today, and it kind of really pissed me off because it was so off the wall, and it kind of jumped in my mind. His whole idea was that the whole baby formula shortage was some deep secret CIA plot.
Joe Biden.
To punish
mothers,
to get back at them or to get back at people because the Supreme Court was going to overturn Roe versus Wade. How do you connect
He figured it out.
How do you connect those dots?
The gas prices are to get you out of your car. Right, because they want you to use it.
Well, again, Wally's my car window got broken. It must be related to Kevin calling Esteban. That's the same guy.
How do you connect these dots?
Oh, I mean, the one we never talked. Did you guys see the Fauci one from a week ago when Fauci has COVID? Okay, so Wally,
I hope he gets it on his dick.
I hope he gets it on his dick.
I hope he gets COVID on his prick.
What people like Wally, religious lunatics like Wally, they always exempt themselves. Okay, divine justice. Fauci got COVID, but
and he's got mild symptoms.
Wally can't see his kids. Okay? He lost his girl. His family doesn't want anything to do. Does Wally question what God is doing to him ever, or is Wally
when he was doing the whole New York and the flood thing, and then a week later there were these horrendous tornadoes in Kentucky, and I think North Carolina had flooding and crickets. Right, he doesn't say a word.
Remember there was the shooter in Buffalo, New York, that shot the black people, and then he had this big thing, or the subway shooter, he had this big thing. But then there was a shooting in Uvalde, Texas, with these kids. That doesn't fit into his twisted mind. So he doesn't mention it.
I don't know why either. There's so much there. It should be right up his alley.
I mean, he's not
coming out. It's
he went into the whole don't blame the gun thing because he's a gun nut.
Well,
I don't really think he's there are very few people in and around New York City that grew up in New York City that are really gun guys. I mean, you really never. Most guys in and around New York City, there was no opportunity to actually do anything with a gun, BB guns, or any of that stuff. That was
people hunt, but they just have hunting rifles.
Yeah, right.
Not even in the city. It's a little difficult even in the city. But this is Wally. These fucking BB guns and his paintball guns. He found this stuff in North Carolina.
Right. Exactly. I
mean, I don't know if he's ever shot anything real. I
remember watching when he first started with me. One of his early videos was him. He was going through his arsenal. He's like, I got pepper spray, and I think he read what he's allowed to have, and he started buying it, and he was doing a show and tell That was, I remember, the first video where he was like into these weapons. I remember like,
he's
oh,
the
he's
definition of a disempowered white man.
Yeah.
You know,
he needs a big barrel. He needs a long-barreled penis, gun, like replacement.
He's just like a guy that's a grown up playing with toys because those are things that he didn't do when he was a kid. It seems like I mean he's just
It's Arrested Development. Even when the clip earlier when he was talking about like Tackleberry, I'm like that's so Wally because I get that reference and I'm 53 fucking years old, right? Everything Wally references in music, clothes, things that happen, pop culture, it's all 1980s, right?
Yeah,
He
right.
Arrested Development, like nothing in his brain advanced past the 80s. Video games he talks about from the 80s, everything he talks about is from the 80s. He's stuck there.
That's why every now and then
traumatized.
I remember Jump Bluff was telling him, "Hey, those fedoras. Why don't you do that on the side?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe a couple of things like keep you focused on something other than this toxic political stuff because that's all it is. It's toxic." And he's like, "Oh, I can't do that." So he doesn't want to do anything. He doesn't want to do anything other than that.
I think maybe he does, but he doesn't want to say because. Like, we'll report him to the IRS or something. So maybe he's doing it on the side.
Maybe.
His live stream ended. I just went over to it.
Oh, did it?
Wally, come on over. Wally, you watching?
Yeah, we
Wally, come on in. We're talking all about you.
Well, I got to jump off, but if he comes back, then somebody text me and let me know.
It'll wake you up.
Seriously, I'll get back on for that. I mean, he'd never show up, but could you imagine if he did? That would be awesome.
Like, he tried to come on a live stream twice with me. And he just gets eviscerated. Like, both times he ran away. And then in the chat, he's like, "You're all going to get sued for talking to Dan, everybody." Like, okay.
Well, this is actually, by definition, this is Dogpile Thursday. If ever there was a place for it to happen, it would be here,
He stole my name. Like, Wally, thanks for the name, buddy. I really appreciate it.
All right, guys. I'm out.
All right, fun. HS. Have a good one.
Man.
Thanks, buddies. Listen, I'll listen to you guys. I'll fall asleep to the sound of your beautiful voices.
Don't forget R.I.P. little hitman.
What'd you say? All I heard was pedo. What?
R.I.P. little monkey hitman.
All right, monkey hitman. That's what it was. In a diaper.
Nobody Google that.
Armory.
Peace.
Pour one out for the Batman monkey.
Oh, my head is so big.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
Like all out of focus.
That's like too much.
Pixelated.
Are you able to change that, or is that how that?
Yeah, I have I have this one.
Oh, I see.
And I got
nice.
this one. The rest of one is like a videos. If you have videos going, of course. Just me. Yeah, I could do everything. Slippery show.
Cool.
He's all in high def.
Yes, I mean, Wally always talks about how New York is fallen in New York. I was in I had some visitors here last week, and when you have visitors from out of town, you got to do the New York thing. And I went into New York. I went to Hudson Yards, and it's freaking pretty awesome. Hudson.
You must have had to fight your way through.
Yeah, no,
Antifa
nothing.
And
no,
Molotov cocktails, nothing.
Yeah, no, I didn't have to jump off the High Line when we were walking it. I didn't have to. We went to a couple nice bars down by the Garden.
You should have made a couple of videos everywhere you went. You should have been like, "Wally, we're in Midtown," and guess what? Of course, the people you're with would have been like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, I know. I have to behave like semi-normal around, but
like
I did
the one time I did that at Jones Beach, he like made a 4-hour live stream where he lost his mind when I said, "I don't see any Antifa BLM," and he's like, they don't get out to Jones Beach. They're all before Jones." Like he went this whole thing.
Yeah,
and then I said, "Wally, I also went to Coney Island, and same thing. No. And guess what? Coney Island, it's all like white are like a minority there, and guess what? Nothing happened.
Yeah,
no one threw a rock at me. Like
and
everything was fine.
For months thereafter, that video that you made, Dan, he used that video to say, when they say there's no BLM in New York, you didn't say that. at all.
He did that live stream where he's just like, "Oh yeah, well, what about this?" It's like, yeah, of course, there's something like 11 million people in Manhattan. Like, I'm sure BLM is represented. Yes, lunatic.
We have them in Ottawa.
Yeah, I'm sure they're everywhere. People. But in Wally's mind, like he's like Wally's like a fascist, right? Like if it was Wally's, like if he had ultimate power, it would be you know, all the like his political party, everyone else gets rounded up, their families get arrested. Like he's a fucking fascist, right? Like
the way he conducts himself.
BLM needs to be destroyed. He's literally said that, you know.
Right. It's like there's no room to like say, hey,
but he's
what are they
Mr.
all
America.
About? Yeah,
like the 60% of New York need to be incinerated. The other party, my party, it's like that's fascism. Well, Wally, you know when we call you a Nazi, that's why.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the way Hitler talked. You know, the guy with the coal smudge and he had an elbow. What does he say? If Hebrew was here, he remembers. Wally never says Hitler. He always says the man with the charcoal.
Like that mustache was popular until
Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah.
Do you remember when what's his name? The sports guy did it. Who's the guy who played baseball and basketball?
Oh no,
Bo Jackson. No, not Bo Jackson.
No, he's a big. I can't remember his name. Anyway, he did the Hitler mustache, and like everyone was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, right.
Not Jordan. Maybe it was Jordan. Let me see. Googling Michael Jordan Hitler mustache.
He did play baseball too.
But wasn't that the whole thing? Like if you come from Wally's direction, like when it came to gays, like it was always like, oh, well, just keep your own sexuality or your own preferences to yourself. I really don't, like do what you're gonna do, but you don't have to like flaunt it in front of everybody. So what does he do? He says super straight everywhere he goes. Big bar, super straight, super straight. We don't have to know your sexual preference, Wally. Isn't that what he always rails about? That like they don't have to stick it in my face. Well, what is he doing? He's doing exactly opposite than what he rails about.
But it isn't even like a sexual preference. It's like I don't want to date a particular type of person. It's like just weird. I don't understand it. I mean, I get it, but I don't get it. It's like I'm not going to date a trans person. Okay, great. Why do you need to like advertise that? There he is. That's not a doctored picture.
That's Michael Jordan.
Yeah, everyone was like, "What is Michael Jordan doing?" And, like everyone was like puzzled.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
He's got the pinch under the bottom lip, right? So it's different.
Well, I've known guys that like had mustaches and like they've started trimming. They wanted to trim, and then they went a little far here, a little far here, and then like they're like, oh, it turned into a Hitler mustache, so they had to just completely shave it off to get away from that.
And I think everybody like when you go to shave your mustache, like everyone does that just for fun because you can, when you're in the mirror, it's you in the mirror, you're like, yes, there I go, and then you shave it off. But Michael Jordan got there, and he was like, I'm gonna go to the store like this. I'm gonna go out.
Like doing the Hulk Hogan with the mutton chops.
Oh yeah,
a big old beard and mustache, and then I shave it down to just the mutton chops and the fucking Hulk Hogan. It's like a Fu Manchu Hulk Hogan fucking mustache. People are like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, I'll always go out one day like that just to fucking have people look at me.
Just big chops. Yeah.
I like the.
They're like, didn't that guy look different yesterday? What the fuck is with that look? And then I come back in, I'm totally shaven the next day. They're like, oh, okay, thank God.
You know what I'm curious about? I'm really curious about like the whole Wally thing, why he can't see his kids, because like from what I understand, from whatever I've heard, that's like you have to have done some really bad stuff to be able, from not even being able to see your kids.
I was going through. I actually cleaned out my phone like the other day. Like, so I copied all my videos into a file, and then I was moving the Wally stuff out of that folder to kind of separate it. So I was like going through the vault, in other words. So one of my earliest videos was like, I guess it was when Wally first started with me, and he might have been. It might have been hidden, and I think it was Hidden's thing he was on, and he said something like they're trying to get me to New York, and I'm not going back to New York. Fuck that. Like, I ain't going there. They're going to have to lock me up, or they're going to have to drag me in chains. So something happened where they were like trying to, like they summoned him to New York. Right. Then he made another video when he was like he got some kind of summons, a court summons or something from New York, and he'd rip it up. And he made a video, oh, fuck them.
I remember that. Yeah.
And then shortly after was the famous Christmas video where he's like, I got something in the mail and I'm crushed. And I think it's all related. Like they must have been, you got to come to New York. You got to come to New York. Then he didn't show up, and they did the court thing without him, and they're just like, no more kids.
Well, yeah.
That's what I'm guessing. I'm speculating wildly.
I agree, yeah, because I think like if you have a couple that's divorcing, one can't move out of the state. right, without the permission of the other, and he just left. Right, so I guess he abandoned.
He also made a video when she moved from Queens to, like, I think she's in Suffolk.
Yeah.
He made a video. He's like, "You moved and you didn't tell me, but I know. In fact, here's your house and here's your address."
Wow.
He gave out the street and address.
Yeah.
But he made this video like, "You tried to move without telling me, and now I'm going the courts." And again, he was doing like lawyers.
Yeah,
and
right.
One of the worst things that could happen is actual fucking true life internet trolls get a hold of him, because they're gonna make everybody's fucking life hell.
Yeah,
everybody's fucking docs are out there and shit.
I think Savage is right. I think Savage is right about Wally having an active warrant. I think he might, because he's never. Well,
he was ripping up something from New York that said you have to come here. So there's like, what's the next step? Either they did the court without him, or he didn't show up for something he had to, and there's a warrant out. It's one of those two things, I think. But he never elaborates. It just goes away.
But this goes back to what it was. Yeah, well, I think it's a family court thing, but this goes back to what you said before, or what you played before, where he says, "I'm still fighting to get my kids back." Well, I don't think so. You defaulted on that fight. You gave up on that fight. Because in order for you to be able to get your kids back, or even have visitation with your kids, you have to go to where their residence is. This is under the jurisdiction of the New York courts. It has nothing to do with Carolina. That's where the kids live.
It doesn't matter what the courts say, because the grand jury he's going to forcibly reunite the family. What did he say? He will forcibly. It's such a nut. Who says that?
Get our families back.
Forcibly reunite the family. Like, what a...
Well, I'm sure if baby mama was smart, and I don't have any reason to believe that she's not, and she knows about his she has to know about his YouTube antics. She must have, hopefully she collected all of the videos, because she's got more evidence than she ever needs to know that this guy's an unstable person.
Well, apparently she's watching my video and your videos, because Wally sent her the link. So
that's what I continually tell people.
Fucking genius.
Talking about shit that's got to do with courts and shit like that.
He sticks his foot in his mouth all the time. And then after he sticks his foot in his mouth, if you're a guy like me or Kevin and we bring it up, we're slandering him. It's like, you're the idiot who films yourself doing illegal shit and then is like, oh, they called me and they got me in trouble. Like, idiot. So he's probably baby mama has a gold mine of material to keep him away from her children until they're 18. Just show any one of his videos where he's suicidal, or he's saying, I'm going to come get her when the Civil War starts, and I know when the Civil War is going to start. That's the thing that scares me. While he's always talking about when the Civil War starts, I'm going to come to New York and do stuff, and he keeps on saying, oh, this is the start of the Civil War. In his mind, he's going to set the start, and that'll trigger him to do something. I don't know if I really believe he'll do anything, because he's poor and he's crazy, but you can't tell with him. He's got nothing to lose. A man with nothing to lose.
Well, you never know. Yeah, right. You never know, because he's exhibited some really, really crazy behavior. I mean, anybody that but
I worry his benefits are going to go away, and he's going to have nothing to lose, and that's what he's going to. He's going to Civil War. Whatever's on Fox News that day, he's like, oh, this is it. This is start.
How many times in the year plus that we've been on YouTube, how many times over that time has he said, oh, this is it now? This is this is last time, and I continue to be right. How many times do you hear that nonsense from him? I continue to be right about
he's like those, the religious people that predict the end of the world. And it comes and goes, and they're like, they got to make something up.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I think it might be the Jehovah's Witnesses, and they're always talking about. They always when they come to your door. They say, you notice there's a lot of more natural disasters than now, and that's because this is coming, that's coming. And it's I don't know. They were about the same 10 years ago. They seem to be on a pretty even thing. So I'm not buying that. And that's kind of Wally. How many times has he been saying, oh, well, this is it now. Floods in New York, divine this and
divine justice.
The divine justice thing.
Jesus gave Fauci COVID. It just seems like a waste of Jesus' time,
Yeah, right.
Did he make a special trip just to go like this to Fauci? Boop, COVID.
And in so many ways, COVID, the whole COVID thing is a good example of how sideways shit goes when something that should be so non-political gets political. And,
Yeah.
like when this thing first came out, and even Wally, you could hear him change his tune a little bit about COVID, because at first he would say, "Oh, I'm not getting a jab," and then
he got it, or he thought he had it.
Yeah, and then he would say, "Well, I'm not saying it's not real, but," and like he was starting to be convinced that it's not just it's just like a flu, because a lot of people got really fucked up and died over this stuff, So it wasn't like that it was a joke, and it wasn't like, oh, if you get it, you're going to automatically die, but it was somewhere in the middle. But it like became this political crazy stuff, and
my wife's a nurse. She could tell stories about.
Oh, I can only imagine. And this guy Fauci. Now, whatever you think of Fauci, I don't think this guy's a malicious guy, but nobody really knew about it. Everybody was trying to do the best that they could.
You're going to trigger Hidden.
Oh, well, I mean, look.
I can tell you.
Hidden still thinks the planet is flat. Hidden's a flat earther.
Well, Hidden. I don't.
I'm not a flat earther.
No.
Fucking tell people to fuck off with that. It's hollow Earth, man.
Hollow Earth. I like that better, like mole people. Yeah.
I know it's not that data. It's only anecdotal, but I do know, and this is true. I got vaxxed, but my sister didn't, because she was like, oh no, she was like, oh, I'm not going to get vaxxed, and she ended up in the hospital for 2 weeks with double pneumonia. And when I got it, I got it, and I had some symptoms like flu-like symptoms, but I recovered in 3 days. But she was in the hospital for 2 weeks. So it's not like it's like pretty close DNA. We're like 18 months apart, but we had similar experiences, and she was vaxxed, she was unvaxxed, and I wasn't vaxxed. And that kind of like
there's an argument to be made about like not getting a shot. It's like it's not tested. Like you can make an argument with all that.
Yeah,
but people will make it like Wally was like, this is like they're making what was it? Bill Gates is putting microchips in it.
The tinfoil hat stuff. But even my wife was
guys
skeptical.
That ruin it for people like me that have evidence of shit.
No, yeah, and that's great. But
you know who Fauci really is? Fauci was the same guy that people were calling Fossey back in the 70s and 80s.
Oh,
and he did the exact same thing when
with AIDS, right?
Came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He's like, we need to make a vaccine, and everybody's gonna have to take it, and this is the gay disease. So a lot of people went out and said, oh, gay people are putting AIDS on toilet seats at public places just by sitting on them. Oh, we need to start kicking the shit out of gay people, which started happening big time.
But like him, you're not scared. You're not anti-doctor, right? You kind of believe. No. All right. So like this is what I would tell my wife, because she was skeptical about the mRNA and the
well, there's a difference, because that's not a vaccine. That's
right. Yeah, the spike protein and all. I've done a little reading on it and stuff. And I said, look, you go to the doctor.
In BC.
You go to the doctor. He prescribes you medicines that you take, right? And you trust him for that. So why not ask him what his recommendation is? I mean, he's the doctor, right? I mean, if you trust him to take other stuff, why wouldn't you trust him for that? And actually, she went to the doctor, and he says, the Pfizer and the Moderna are both mRNA spike proteins, and it's kind of a new technology, and there's less data on it than others. Although I think they said that the rabies vaccines, modern rabies vaccines, are like the first mRNA vaccines. But he said if you're hesitant about that, take the Johnson & Johnson, because it's a traditional vaccine. So that's what she did. But then they say that the Johnson & Johnson had other issues, but she never experienced those. So
there's
who knows? I mean, there's no
eruptions with that one. Like they had a lot of eruptions and shit. But
I mean,
like I said, my wife saw like the nightmare that happens when you got this stuff. It was like, oh, I think I mentioned it. Like one was, I thought it was a perfect. Like curse for Wally. There was this woman that got COVID, and then she threw a clot, and she had a stroke, and she couldn't speak, and she was shitting and pissing herself. And I was like, boy, that would be great if Wally got that. Like he can't. He would be like bah, 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 and then he'd be like shitting himself. Like that would be. That's a perfect curse for Wally.
That's what happened to Justin Bieber and his wife.
Oh,
he got like
he got like some
shingle.
kind of.
It's like related to shingles, though. I think, right? It's like
which is the same. Yeah, this is all part of the same shit.
Well,
so they're
my
trying
business
to say
partner didn't want
to
to
take the vaccines, but the thing is,
it's divine justice because Justin Bieber.
Well, he told everybody in South Africa, he's like, you cannot come to my concert unless you're double vaxxed. And then right after he said that, all of a sudden he's got like Bell's palsy on one side. His
right
has a fucking stroke, and it's.
I
like,
bet after Jesus gave
like
Fauci COVID
old.
on a dick, he gave Justin Bieber a fucked up eye. Like it was the same trip Jesus made.
Yeah.
It's like bam.
But I mean, look, I think
it's like I've been vaxxed so many times, and then she passes out right on stage as she says it. And it's like
I guess I think there's a reasonable argument to be made on both sides of it, and I think you know, like.
My argument,
but like you said, then you get the tinfoil people.
I don't
like,
tell anybody.
Yeah, right. The microchip in your. Somebody was telling me,
you don't take the vaccine. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but
I got what you're saying. Yeah.
Don't tell me I have to take it, and then
I understand that too. Yeah, but
a bigger argument to be made for your own immune system, which actually, when you're younger, it's better to not have the vaccines.
But
Herein also said it's also the lizard people that live under the earth made the vaccine because it's a hollow earth.
Oh, like remember the old.
I mean, the mole people, not the lizard.
No, the George Reeves Superman, the little midget people that lived under the earth and they came out, and then the guy with old Betsy.
Were they mole men? Sound like mole men. Chud. Remember Chuds?
I never talked about any of this shit, but anyways.
You never watch a George Reeves Superman? I mean, I might be dating myself, I guess. Again,
that's really old. That's like what 40s.
But I remember watching it as a kid. That and the original.
In New York spoke like this.
Tune in next week, folks.
Yeah, that was the original cliffhanger stuff. When
they would show like a car would go off a cliff and explode with all the people inside of it, and it'd be like, tune in next week, and then next week you show. Like they jumped out of the car before it went over. It was like, what a
Superman
bullshit!
cop.
Like, come on, get out of here.
Yeah,
tune in next week.
Or the original Batman stuff. That was another one with the cliffhanger. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Like, I think I talked about once in the show. I saw that like maybe 10 years ago, and I'm like, how come I haven't heard of this? Because it's Batman, and Batman's so popular. But it was because it was wildly racist. Like, it was made right after World War II. Yeah. And the bad guy was a Jap. Like there was literally a part where someone goes, a Jap, and she screams, and it's the sinister, and it's a white guy with makeup, like, it was like,
I remember some of the Three Stooges stuff had that
age well.
In it.
Yeah,
actually, some of the
doesn't age well.
Some of the
Wally would love it though.
Oh. Some of the original Bugs Bunny stuff, I don't think it was really racist, but some of it was racy, and if you were an adult, you could like read between the lines in some of those cartoons, which is kind of funny. You didn't realize it until you.
There was that one where Hitler decides to bomb America, and it's Hitler on a plane. It's Warner Brothers, so it's the same guys who did like Bugs Bunny, but it's Hitler on a plane, and the gremlins are fucking with him as he's trying to fly the plane, and he doesn't know what's going on. Then 5 minutes of that, it's like they like that's one of the banned ones. They don't show it anymore.
All those cartoons were not meant for kids. They were all played before movies at the theater.
Like yeah.
Well, yeah, everyone was getting drunk.
And they all had the
same. And they would die, and there's angels coming out of them. It's like they don't make it like that anymore.
You had Merry Melodies from Disney, and you had Looney Tunes from Warner Brothers. Like they're almost named the same. Looney Tunes.
I'm checking my email. I still haven't gotten any update on my copyright takedown. Gonna have to call somebody.
You wonder, like, are movie theater type of things? Are movie theaters going to bounce back after like COVID? MAGA Army Spanish.
Before COVID, they were struggling. They were saying, okay, now we're going to serve you beer, and we're going to have a waitress that comes and brings you stuff, and you can sit in these fancy leather chairs with vibrators in them. And fucking
there was a real small window where you could, like, rent out the entire theater for, like, a couple $100. It was like, it'd be like you and your family in, like, a theater. And it was like that came
really?
And went. But they were that desperate. Like, they were, like, even if they make a couple $100 from, like, yeah, there was a couple of my friends. It was like that. It was like them and they're like 7 people, and they had the whole theater. Like you could like reserve it because it was COVID, so it was like they're limiting or whatever. But it was just like them and
here. Like if you wanted to go and get popcorn or hot dogs or whatever, you could go to the theater to get it during COVID, but you couldn't go there to watch movies. It was just if you needed food, you could go there.
Oh, that's wild.
Oh, is that true? Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Actually, some of the COVID things were so crazy though. Like when you went into a restaurant, you had to wear a mask in the restaurant.
They were cleaning surfaces because they didn't know, so everything had to be like sterilized. It was crazy.
Well, and then you walk up to the receptionist. And then she'd say, "Oh, your seat is over here," and you'd walk like 3 feet and sit down, and then you could take your mask off, and you like wondered, But again, I guess everybody was just trying to do the best they could under, some tough circumstances. I felt bad for a lot of these restaurants.
What actually saved most people wasn't masks; it was actually the cleaning of stuff, cleaning the surfaces.
I heard there was a statistic about wearing glasses, like people wearing glasses were less likely to get, because you get splatter from saliva.
Yeah, I guess your mucus glands in your eye, I guess that would get absorbed there and stuff. That kind of makes sense,
That's going with the thing that somebody just coughed in your face.
Yeah,
which doesn't happen. And actually, when people started wearing masks, I was like, I think this is going to go bad. I saw old men that normally were covering their face at least with their hand. Now they were just open coughing with the mask on. I'm like, that just totally now.
You got to do the forearm. That's the accepted thing. You got to do your arm.
I thought it was into the elbow or
It's as long as it's not your hand, because I was like,
because that's the part you touch the door handle with, and the fucking snacks that you decide not to buy and put.
I remember as a kid, it was like, oh, cover your nose. It's like, no, that's bad. Don't do that now. It's gross.
Because if you sneeze, there's gonna be shit flies out. But if you put your crook of your elbow, you're not touching everything with that. But then they're like, don't touch hands, do the elbow bump. I'm like, no, you just told them to sneeze into their elbow. Now you're saying mingle your elbows. Like, fuck, you do everything.
I would do a fist bump, but even before COVID, because I know what a gross jerk I am. So it's I know what you've been scratching your ass with that hand. You've been picking your nose.
Is that true, Dan? You don't wash your hands after the urinal. You just let it ride, or no?
Sometimes I'll just run out of there. Only because, sometimes when you're in the bathroom, it's just, I'm going to catch something touching that faucet. And it's it's just me and my dick. It's I'm just going back to the car,
I don't know the new Yankee Stadium, but I used to go to a couple games at the old Yankee Stadium, and you go in there, and it was like a zoo. People are pissing in the sink. People are pissing in the... And it's I'm just getting out of here.
There's a great cartoon. It's F is for Family. It's Bill Barr. It's his cartoon.
Yeah.
And the scene, it was right out of my childhood. I remember showing my wife one of the kids. It's like Syracuse in the 70s. It's this, the malaise depression of the mid late 70s. And one of the kids goes to a baseball game, and he goes, I have to go to the bathroom. He goes to the bathroom, and it's a 1970s. It's it was just a big. Instead of urinals, it was just a big trough. You ever see that?
Yeah. They had those in Europe.
There's guys with they're leaning up against the wall. There's a guy in a toilet. There's no door, and he's grunting. And the 10-year-old kid is walking through, and he's you see the look on his face. He's like, "Oh my god!" You see a shadow of a guy's balls and testicle on the kid, and he's just and I'm like, I remember that scene exactly from my childhood. It was I think it was someplace upstate. I had to use the bathroom, and I couldn't go. I went up to the trough, and I'm a little kid, so everyone's dick is right here, and there I am. And I just clammed up. I couldn't go. And I went. My mom's like, "Did you go?" I was like, "Yeah." And the whole way home, I was dying.
Oh my god!
And I couldn't tell my mom I couldn't pee because there were dicks. I was But yeah, the trough. Who thought that was a good idea? We'll make a big. How do you make a big trough? It seems more difficult than just doing urinals.
West cowboy days, man.
But it was the 70s.
It's not
just trough. It's fine.
I know.
It's not uncommon in Europe in these bars, these countryside bars. It would just be the wall, and then like a trough, and it would be pitched, and you just piss on the wall, and it would go in a trough, and but you could smell it. Had this. It was this smell that was
Sometimes they throw the hockey pucks in there, but it doesn't do much. Those little pucks that you pee on, those little.
But it was half of the beer smell when you go in a bar. For that beer the beer smell from a tap gets into everything, and urine half and half. So it was kind of a unforgettable type of aroma, if you even want to call it that.
One guy taking a greasy shit in the fucking corner and stinks everything up, and then the pissy smell of the urinals, the puke in the fucking sink because the guy's taking a greasy shit and the guy's puking in the sink. Yeah, man.
It was terrible.
I remember, I commute into the city and I take the Long Island Expressway, and years ago. It's not there anymore. They built like a real rest stop, which I wish they had done like 20 years ago, because like after that ride, and you always have to look for a place to pee. But they used to, where that rest stop used to just be a parking area with porta potties, and I went into a porta potty, and there was like a log on the seat, and
God,
and it was like
the
most vilest thing I ever saw. And I turned around, and like there's a thing on there, like on the door where you can like put the inspections on, and somebody wrote, "Someone please bulldoze this place," and it was an exact reflection of what should have been done to that, because like from then on I never had like every time I walked into a porta potty, and sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, I dreaded it. It was like it was like a suspenseful.
I gotta go. I went. It was at a Renaissance fair. It was like in the woods. There was this porta potty, and I went in there, and I take out my junk, and I noticed that the toilet seat, instead of being white, it had like this weird pattern on it, like it looked like stars or something, like evenly spaced stars. Yeah. So I approach it with my my dick in hand, and all the stars leaped off the seat. It was like flies, but it looked like I thought it was a pattern on the. And now I'm in this closed thing with this sword, and my dick is out, so I have to either like run out or zip up my pants, and I'm like this insects. Fucking porta potties, worst invention ever. Here I found the clip. Let's see if this works. Let's see. Did this work? Here we go.
Oh shit!
This was me in 1978. Oh wait, I gotta play it from here. I'm learning. There's 10-year-old Dan going to the men's room.
They made a show about it. Oh Jesus!
There's just guys grunting and farting. If you could hear the audio.
Yeah. They're like, oh jeez. Oh, there's the speaking guy.
There's always the guy that pulls his pants down to his ankles. There's always that guy. Yeah, there I am.
And it seems like it's a traditional place to pick
people
for guys
spit.
to pick their nose.
This is good. Cigarette, yeah.
All the
door open,
splashing back up in his face.
And just traumatized. That was me. I'm like, this is me.
Did you go? Yep, I went.
Yeah, exactly. Because I didn't want to explain my trauma to my family. I was like, yeah, I went.
Do you remember the mall hidden? There used to be this mall. Dan might know it, and it's still around. Roosevelt Field. You remember Roosevelt Field, right?
Sure.
Mall? Well, back in the day, I don't know if it still is. But the bathrooms were downstairs, right?
Big blimp.
Yeah, you go downstairs in the mall, and the bathrooms were downstairs, right? You go down to the bathrooms, and the first time I went in there was like the Dan moment. Every stall was filled with a guy taking a dump, but there were no doors on the stalls because
they were kicked off the year earlier.
Not one, and it was like I walked by, like I wanted to take a leak, but I didn't want to take a leak in front of a guy sitting in a stall behind me where the door was there because it was like a little weird. I kept walking, and
really taking this shit, or you're gonna jump me.
No, these guys had their pants down to their ankles. They were doing man shits. I mean, it was
There's always that guy.
It was a veritable chorus of freaking flagellation and everything that goes with it. And it was.
I had a good brunch today.
Hey, look, he had corn.
Dude, I used to work with a dude that fucking. Anytime anybody went to take a shit on company time, he would fucking have to go walking by after they're gone and fucking go in and fucking smell it up. And then
yeah, you told us. Yes, I remember hearing this story. What a fucking
that's pretty
some weird fetish or something.
To the point where he would fucking make bets with people that he could guess what they had for dinner.
Oh,
I would report that dude to HR. I'd be like, "This is weird."
That guy
he's doing bathroom stuff. No,
that guy failed up. You know what he did?
Yeah.
He was like smashing shit at work, and like he was like this big fat guy. And he would like take a whole thing, and he'd look at everybody, take a whole thing of spaghetti sauce, a whole box of it, and just drop it on the floor and be like, and everybody's like, "What the fuck, man? That's like loss prevention is gonna be all over your ass." No, because when the boss would go away, he would fucking send him to watch everybody. And then he would rat everybody out if they were taking too long for a smoke break or something. And he was getting people fired and shit. So he failed his way up.
Oh, jeez.
Like he just ratted everybody out, and he was like, now he's like the fucking backstage manager fucking deal. It's like, what the fuck?
That's for when people like that get like promoted. You're like, you're a dick.
Another guy was stocking shelves, and he'd always check out the chip girl because she'd come in and bend over to put the chips, and he was watching her all the time. So he'd always make sure that he was at the right end of his aisle when she'd show up.
He'd give her stuff to he'd give her stuff and it was at the bottom of the shelf, so she'd have to lean over. And
no. She did all like the chips, and it's like chips from the floor to the ceiling. So the further down she'd have to put chips, she's bending over more, and he's like standing up against the aisles and looking at her. It's like
in this day and age,
not
like
stocking shelves when
like you could find any porn in the palm of your hand, and there's still creepy guys like doing that. I don't get it. It's like, dude,
I saw a video of the fucking ladies doing. She's got like the weights on her back, and she's doing like crunches. Well, not crunches, but like she's like bending down to the floor and then standing up with the weights across her back. I forget what that's called. Depressing, anyways.
Oh, speaking of that, did
guy
you see?
Came in and was sticking his nose right under her, man.
I meant to ask you, Hidden, because I think you actually brought up this woman to me once before Wally even did. This is when Wally got out of YouTube jail. This is the first video that he made
on YouTube, and I'm not the only one. So recently,
remember you brought this woman up. Like, this is in case you don't know, this is the woman. She was a YouTuber, and like she thought her channel was getting less views, so she shot up YouTube headquarters. Well, so Wally gets out of YouTube jail, and he evokes this girl. He's like, "Oh, maybe I'll do something like this." At least that's what I think he's trying to say.
Also,
yeah, exactly.
Attack my Persian channel, Nassim Sabs.
She got banned.
And if you go and check my videos, you see that my new videos hardly get views, and my old videos that used to get many views.
But the crazy thing to me is like she's assuming that YouTube did something that she got less views.
Well, here's the thing: after this video, they did do something, and they blocked and banned her channel, and that's what triggered her after.
That's what
she's already threatening, and they're like, "Look, man, you can't talk like that on YouTube." So then they closed her.
But I love that Wally is like, yeah, and Wally's like, this girl was right for doing that.
A video that has nothing bad in it.
When you said girls working out, I thought of this. That's what made me.
Why did that? Because it got famous and was getting many views. So they age restricted that video.
Wally should do this. I'd watch Wally do this.
No, it got famous because like
I contacted
we have to
support
go and get this girl
and they also said the same thing. There are some inappropriate things in your video. Videos like many singers like Nicki Minaj, Miley, and many others who have sensual scenes so inappropriate for children to watch, don't get age restricted. But my videos, my workout video gets age restricted. This is what they are doing to vegan activists and many other people.
But I'm fascinated. Wally's like, this woman shut up YouTube,
and smart
and this is my hero.
People like me are not good for big businesses, like for animal business. For
what people were doing to her
medicine
right,
business,
and where she went
and
with
for many other businesses.
Says a lot about her
That's
mentality.
why they are discriminating and censoring us. For more info, visit my website.
Some kind of like Muslim people that were like, you can't be doing this.
These videos
yeah, I bet you're right. Like something happened, and she drew attention to herself.
Right.
And they dogpiled her.
That she's Iranian all the time. She's making a point.
Why
so
these
like,
videos don't get age restricted? Are these so appropriate for children?
Well, that's the point I think you made before. The thing that Wally doesn't fundamentally understand, he doesn't fundamentally understand that the Constitution is a contract between the federal government, not even the state government, between the federal government and the citizen. It's not. Yeah, it's not a contract between YouTube and Wally. So they don't have to. They don't have to grant you free speech of whatever you want. He doesn't get that fundamental fact. It's not a contract. It only.
I'm pretty sure Wally made a video when he was talking about like, I think it was the whole thing with like, that there was a bakery and they're like, we're not making a cake for the gay couple, and it started this whole like discussion.
Right.
And people like Wally were like, well, this is capitalist. That's their business. they can choose who their customers are. But then when it comes to YouTube, Wally's like, oh no, they're my freedom of speech, like he's like a hypocrite. It's like, dude, YouTube makes the rules.
Of course, right,
like,
right. And that's why they're,
YouTube is telling you they're not going to bake that cake for you.
Yeah,
basically.
right. And yeah, exactly.
But it's like go to another platform. But Wally knows YouTube is the king on the block, and that's that.
Yeah,
well, there's a lot more to it than that too. But there's a reason why they're the king on the block.
Because they don't bake cakes. No.
Well, it's not only that. It's like if you go to these other free speech platforms that are like off of YouTube, you got to look at where you're going. If you're going to Rumble, like a lot of people are like, just go to Rumble. Well, if you go to Rumble, that's headquartered out of Toronto. So I don't know what people think they're going to do about your free speech over there for real. Like they say, we're the free speech alternative, and it's like, not really, because Trudeau's making laws over that.
But I think just to develop the infrastructure, the server network that you need to accommodate, like, literally billions of users, I think that's probably the tough part too, right?
Well,
Dan, you would speak to that more.
What a lot of people don't realize about Rumble is they're making laws right now about Canadian content on the internet. So if you want to be spotlighted on Rumble, you're going to have to make more Canadian.
And I think the goal of all those small companies is like they want to get bought by bigger companies. So it's like they that's like the goal. If you make a company, it's like, oh, we're getting popular. We're a competitor to YouTube. YouTube will just buy you for $18 billion, and that's like the goal.
They would be a free speech platform if, say, someone like Elon Musk decided to buy it. It would be at least more free speech than YouTube is.
Well, I mean, there's free speech, and then there's Wally saying, see this woman that shot up the YouTube headquarters? This is what I may do if you cancel my channel again. Like, that's exactly bomb in a movie theater. That's like, you can't, that's saying fire on an airplane. Like, you can't.
If you say that, you can get in the same type of shit that she got in, which made her go off the deep end in the first place.
But Wally's saying, oh, she was right. She was like...
That's what I'm saying. Him saying that puts him in her category.
Yeah, a Looney Tunes nut job.
And what did they do to
China
her?
flu, the Kung flu, Hina, Hadouken, Shoryuken flu. That's right,
He's asking to get banned so he can go on a crusade against YouTube.
And that's the other part of this video. It's like, what is his goal with, like, is he poking and prodding YouTube so that they do kick him off? He's so baffling. I do not understand. I think he's just not thinking his plan through, and he's trying to be tough guy Wally.
I think.
But again, he's making this video on YouTube, talking about YouTube's headquarters getting shot up, and maybe I'll do that.
He's not the guy to take a step back and say, oh, let me think about this. No, he just gives a visceral response, and usually it's completely wrong.
I think it's a little bit more thought out than that. I think
Wally, come on in. We're confused about your motives.
I think he is looking to get pushed so that he can say that he's being pushed.
Yeah, but that process is he's gonna lose his channel. Like he's gonna have nothing. He's gonna have nowhere to talk about it.
The biggest Maga Man on Twitter or on
right, and that will be Wally's victim. He's a professional victim. He's
the only other thing he's doing is MeWe, and it's like it's abysmal. He gets like he'll reshare his YouTube stuff, and most of the time he won't get any reaction, or he'll get like 2 whatever thumbs up or whatever the fuck MeWe does. It's like
there. He'd have to bring his viewers with him. He'd have to say, guys, come to
yeah, but who's doing that? Like, come on, he's getting like.
But for a guy who has nothing to do all day long, nothing to do other than like perfect like a YouTube kind of a craft. Like Dan, in the time that you've been on here, you've far exceeded any
green screen.
And far exceeded any production. And I mean, Hidden's like production stuff when he does a live stream and the background and the scrolling and stuff is leaps and bounds above Wally. You would think that if this was something that he was serious about, he would try to like perfect his craft, but it's just very, very basic, and I mean, he has nothing else to do. You would think that he would invest.
That's why I get like I would get irrationally mad that he didn't buy a green screen, because it's like, dude, like it's not. He doesn't even need more. He just needs a green piece of fabric. He has everything he needs. No money is involved, and he won't have a Maga Man like thing going in the background.
Like even when you watch Shermanation stuff, he does good production too. Like he's bringing it, like you're doing, bringing videos, and he's talking about it, and it's like professional. And Wally's stuff is all like like I would do, like whip out my phone.
Trusham also has thoughtful, like he isn't just regurgitating videos. Like actually, Trusham will show you something, and he has like thought out opinion on it.
Yeah,
he's not
exactly.
Like, like
right. Just huffing and puffing. Yeah.
I wish I could do that. I wish I could just sit there and chat like that.
But just like. Who said Garage Autonomous? He said that Wally's just lazy about doing it, because I think it would be like more.
He's a lazy liar. He said it's like he can't even lie well, because you could easily disprove his nonsense. Like he makes 14 videos talking about how he's allowed to shoot in his apartment, and I make one phone call and that all goes away. But that's always. Are you allowed to do this? No.
but if you're watching along, I'd watch you make a video, and then you completely eviscerate anything that Wally said.
He's pretty easy though.
Yeah. I mean, completely fact by fact, point by point, and Wally would just go on and make believe that never happened, or just ignore it,
or threaten to come murder me. That's his retort. Like oh yeah, well when I come to New York, I'll pew pew.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, his retort would be, I'm gonna I'm gonna scam some more money from the system, and then I'll sue you with a lawyer and that.
A couple times he tried to come on a live stream, but he just gets he said something like, I made up a lie about him, and then I brought up the whole he wants Al Qaeda to attack New York again, and everyone in the panel was like, "Wait a minute, what did you say that?" And Wally tried to get out of it, and he couldn't.
Yeah.
That was the one time, and then the other time he's like, "You're saying I'm shooting black people," and I said, "Wally, you made a video where you said, the black girls threw a water bottle at you, and you're getting ready when they come back by stashing guns around the balcony." He goes, "Yes, I did. In fact, I got a brand new holster for my gun," and he shows the holster. But he agreed with me. And I'm just like, dude, you're saying you said you couldn't shoot black people. I don't know how to. I can't argue with the man.
Yeah, right.
I can't have a rational argument with him. It's just impossible. That's why I think it's a riot if he tries to go to court. It's Wally, what do you think's going to happen when you say Dad's defaming me, and then I whip out video of you doing the thing that I don't know. He's not a details guy. I put it in the description of this video. He's not a detail-oriented guy.
No, not at all. And then some of the videos that he had put up, especially on his last Maga Man channel, and after looking at them, and after you had dissected them, and after I put them together and show this stuff, you would think to yourself, I'm going to pull those. But he just, fuck it is what it is,
He didn't pull. When I did the whole thing about him, Grimberg shooting himself in the mouth, he left that video up. Why would you?
Right.
Leave that video up. Maybe he didn't know where it was, because it was one of 1,000 videos at the time.
And then sometimes, on his new channel, he's saying, "Oh, I made a video about that subject," and then somebody will go back and reference it because there's some kind of information in there that's very necessary, but it's just him ranting again. There's no information to be gleaned about.
Well, it's he's got a what do you call it, a playlist. It's 150 videos of why New York sucks, and it's just him ranting about nothing.
about when he went through and he did that live stream of just showing clips of New York videos where stupid stuff happened or crazy stuff. And the other day I just went in and I just typed into YouTube Charlotte crime, and there was a news report that had a whole bunch of crimes that had happened recently in Charlotte in the last 3 weeks, and 2 shootings, and this guy got run over, and a mugging and a rape. And I'm like, oh, I should post that up. But then I'm like, oh, I'm going right down the same rabbit hole as he is. You can pick any place, take a dart, throw it at a map of the United States, and go on YouTube and find shit that happens, and it's going to happen. And he's doing
you get 10 million people together, and somebody's going to burn you or stick you in the eye with a knife or whatever.
Right.
My favorite was when there was a road rage incident outside where his parents live.
Yeah.
So there was like two people outside their car yelling and shit. Maybe somebody pulled a gun, but Wally's like, "Are you happy, Democrats? There's people fighting in front of my mom's house."
See what's happening now? Yeah.
Like, where were you, Slippery? Like,
yeah, right. I should.
11 million people. Like, thanks, Democrat. Thanks, Joe Brandon. They scared my mom. that I think is a narcissistic bitch and they hate me but whatever. My mom.
The mom that's the Xanax popping mom.
You know what would be really funny is to listen to Maga Man reacting to one of his own videos, like just watching it and then stopping it and like saying exactly. And then he'll go into a tirade.
This guy's a genius.
Yeah, and then he hits play, and then in the video he does the exact same tirade he just did when he stopped the video to say something.
We should like cobble that together. That takes too much time. I wanted to make a soundboard of Wally, just like all Wally's greatest clips, and then you can just go on as Wally. You just don't cam up, and then you're just like, "Hi, everybody!" Oh, the liberals, he's like, it's just a soundboard of Wally's greatest hits.
Your computer could handle it. You could get the USB fucking buttons for it too, so that you just have to hit that board, hit the buttons on it.
I don't want to spend any more money on this stupid hobby.
Pictures of Wally doing the different expressions that you think it means when he's saying something. Like you see him pointing his finger, and it's like, that was a lie.
Yeah. New York. Barry Dam did. He did like crowd noises, which I thought was genius.
I thought it was
like Wally would be like, "Oh," and then they called my landlord, and then he'd be like, "Oh," like a crowd of people going, "Oh, boo!"
Like it's a sitcom.
I remember that one. That was funny. That was really a good one.
People clapping, room full of people clapping.
I gotta pack it in, guys. I gotta run.
Yeah, 11 o'clock. We're coming up in 3 hours.
Yeah, it's been a good one again. It's been fun. Hidden, have a good one. Dan, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man.
Have a good one.
Okay.
Slippery out.
See you later. Watch your 6 and all
righty.
that.
Yeah. Stay frosty.
You're allowed to conceal and carry now, so look out.
Oh, yeah. I'll be looking down Cooper Avenue with my back. All right, Wally. We'll see you. Take care.
Peace.
Yeah, Wally, come on in. 4 people watching. I'll stay on for a couple minutes. You could defend yourself. He won't come in. I'd love to have him on. He would come. This is what would happen. He would come on. He'd scream over me. He'd say I'm making up a lie. I ask what. He would say. I would say where I got it from. He would tell me not to watch that video and then disappear. And then in the chat he would say how he's going to sue me. That's what would happen if he came on to the live stream.
You wouldn't mute him because then you'd have a muting war with him where he's like unmuting himself and you have to mute him again.
I was fantasizing about going, okay, Wally, thanks for coming on the channel. So tell us what's going on. And then as soon as he starts talking, just mute him. but he would get mad and he'd probably leave. And then be like, no, man, I was just fucking with you. Come on, you deserved it. Come on. No, go ahead. And then when he says something, I mute him again.
Turn his mic all the way down. So he's talking and thinks he's not muted.
He's always at the time, I didn't know I had a volume control. And he just blew. I was so mad at that live stream that he was so much louder than me. Fucking guy.
Well, they just put that in probably a couple months ago.
Oh, so maybe it was. I thought it was. I wasn't using Chrome, and apparently you get more stuff if you use Chrome and instead of I think I was using Firefox or something. So Chrome gets you more options. I assumed it was that, but yeah, son of a bitch. I still got to figure out how to use the big mic, but no matter what I do, it's going to interfere with my magic shirt gag because it'll be. I think Maurice has the microphone here. I could do that maybe here, maybe. I don't know.
Is it a Yeti?
I have a Yeti, and then I got an arm for it. I got a whole $150 rig.
I got, but you just have to put it overhead and use the. There's one of the settings where it's just the top of the mic.
Yes.
So when you put it above you, it's like a boom mic, so that you can talk and the mic's not in your shot at all. It's above you.
I bet you it was fine. It was just I had the gain all the way down like an idiot. And the other thing I noticed was the room I'm in. It has an echo when I used it, so that was the two things that were bugging me. So I don't know. I'm not about to start putting up blankets and shit on the wall. That's again.
Well, you'd still have to wear your headphones so it wouldn't feedback and shit. But yeah, you could have it out of the shot for sure, because there's a bunch of settings on the Yeti. Or you can have it just in front of the mic. You can have it so that it's like surround. So like there's one on either side.
Yeah, it's like if you have a guest and it's between you, you can do that.
And then there's straight through the top, like a condenser. You can just put it straight over your head. Like
I'm looking at it now. I should play it again. I should play with it again. Because
I
did that, and then I had
mine day one.
You said you put it fell off the thing.
Yeah, you should take it out of the box and like flex it and see how hard it is to fucking bend. Because I'm telling you, man, it was straightened right out, and I couldn't loosen the cable inside at all. I was like, why does it keep going straight like a fucking stick? Every time I'd force it down, it's like I'm doing that. You know that bar that weightlifters use that they bend all the time? It's got a big spring in the middle. Well, I was doing that. Like I'd maybe like down and it would just pop straight back up.
I bet you were like missing a string or the tension was too high or something.
Well, I tried to change the tension and it wasn't loose. It was loosening a bit, and then it just stopped loosening. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I took the screw right out.
Crashed.
And no, it was still fucking totally forcing straight. I'm like, oh, come on. It's like they used the wrong spring or some shit. Way too much tension. And then I tried to open it to see the spring inside, and then it just fucking exploded because I was opening the arm, the side of the arm.
You had a fancy one. I'm looking at mine now. It's like everything's exposed. It was pretty cheap, but it was like you could see all the springs on it. Like there's nothing inside of it. But it sounds like you had like a more expensive one. I got some cheap rig. Yeah, I bet
this one came with the mic.
I have
I kept dropping the other one, so it was all fucked up. So I had to go and get a new mic, and I'm like, I may as well get the arm too.
You're in a garage. You should just hang it from the ceiling like boxing ring.
I've got like cupboards on the wall, and I've attached it to the cupboard, so I can swing it in and out of where I'm using it. I can swing it back to the wall to the cupboard. So it's like it's swinging.
A cupboard. That's very Canadian. We have cupboards here too, but it's like
or cabinets.
Maybe a pantry we would call it here. Maybe we do use cupboard.
Or cabinets.
Cabinets.
Like cabinets.
Cupboard sounds something where you'd put, beans in before you have on your breakfast. Is that that's English. You have like toast with beans on it. That would be stored in the cupboard.
The beans. Yeah.
Is that do they do it in Canada? Do you spread beans on toast? I think that's very English.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, it's where we came from, most of us.
That actually sounds fine to me, but it's just like not done in America. I don't know why.
Well, it's like steak and eggs in the morning. That's not Canadian at all.
I didn't realize that was a thing until like maybe 10 years ago. I was like, wait,
really?
That's for breakfast? Steak and eggs? That sounds amazing. How come
that's like a totally American breakfast, like an all-American breakfast or something.
In the Midwest, it's because like there's cows every 4 feet out there. But yeah, every now and again, I'll that'll be my only meal for the day. I would go to it before COVID happened. COVID ruined everything. But I go to this diner. It was walking distance. And I wouldn't eat anything. And then like 2 o'clock, I'd go there because it was empty. Get a nice big steak and eggs, 18,000 calorie like meal. And that's all I had for the day. But that was good. Big greasy steak.
Here it's all about like bacon and eggs or sausage and eggs. Ham and eggs.
Here we have Canadian bacon, which is like a round piece of... Yeah, it's like a round piece of something, and you fry that up.
It's from a different part, I think, of the stomach.
Well, I think it's almost like you cut sausage and you're like frying that up.
Well, it's like a big thick, it's like a piece of muscle.
Yeah.
And they slice it really thick and they put pea meal on it sometimes. So up here we would call it pea meal bacon or back bacon. Because we wouldn't call it
Canadian really wouldn't call it Canadian bacon.
Yeah.
It's redundant.
Yeah. But I like
you would call American bacon if you had. It's very confusing.
Yeah, we just call bacon, that this little slices of fat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is the bacon I like more. I'm not into the back bacon or Canadian bacon. They're starting to call it Canadian bacon now because all the restaurants coming up from the States.
But bacon here now is like $11 for... It's like ridiculous amount of money for... Like, it's almost doubled in price. It's like crazy. Now I sound like Wally. But buy up all the bacon. It's going away. Biden ruined it. That was another... I meant to mention that when Slippery was here. Wally made a video. First of all, he blames Biden for the gas. It's all Biden's fault. And then Biden is like...
Other people working together, yeah.
Biden is like, okay, well, we'll do a gas tax, and then Wally's like, oh, that gas tax bullshit. That's just a trick, so you vote for him. It's like, what do you want the man to do? Like, I know you don't like him, but what is he supposed to do? He's trying to help, and Wally's like, fake tax.
Well, he kind of fucked up because he did a bunch of shit that made it so that if something did happen, you'd be fucked, and you'd have to go to crazy places like Iran to get gas and stuff, like. Especially when the dollar is like tumbling away.
Well, again, I know I'm going to get shit for it, but like we should have been looking into alternative energy for like the past 50 years, but we've just been, like I said, when I was a kid, the engine technology is exactly the same as it is now. Like, where's the fusion-powered cars? Like, what happened, everybody?
Well, that would be completely the opposite of like fusion-powered cars is probably
I know I'm exaggerating
for the environment. That's the whole thing. Like
there'd be a little radiation, but come on, this
like there's ways that they do things that it's a lot cleaner. So like the things that they're blaming a lot of these problems on, those aren't really the problems. Like there's other things that are causing the problems.
Well, it's just juvenile to me. Just be like the president did it. Like it's just like come on, like
no one man
like Putin started a fucking war. Maybe that has something to do with it, but it's like they don't think of it. While he's like Joe Brandon did it. Like come on,
shit was going downhill before that, right? Like it's all just aggravating factors. Like he's blocked pipelines, he's shut down refineries, he's done the things that make it hard for you to have gas, and then all this other shit goes on. Well, what do you think is going to happen to the price of gas? Of course, it's going to go driving up because they don't have any to sell.
I like the guys that have for no reason they own a gas guzzling monstrosity of a vehicle, and then they complain about the price of gas, and you're like, dude, like you're the one that got a truck for no reason. Some people get trucks; they need a truck for work or whatever, but some dudes just get a truck because I gotta have a truck, and then they're like, oh, gas is a lot of money.
What they want to do up here, and I think they're going to pass it, is they want to put a tax on everybody that has a pickup truck, and it's like, well. That's hardly the fucking smart way to do things.
That's going to start a riot.
Like everybody that has a trade job needs a fucking pickup, and you're just saying, yeah, we're just going to tax you $2,000 a year. It's like, what?
Maybe it'll be like if it's like a luxury
mom and pop at all. You're putting them in the grave.
Maybe if you say like it's a commercial vehicle that I use for work, you'll get out of it.
Yeah.
It'll be like dogs with tails.
Break. Like everybody gets taxed, and then you got to get it back out of them, right? Like every time they announce something new, it comes out of the taxes. That means the taxes are going up, and then you got to fight to get you got to do the loophole stuff to get your money back. And then people get mad that people are doing the loophole stuff. Well, that's the whole point. It's to get out of the tax. Always is the point.
You start a business, a fake business, just to register your vehicle,
just so you can have a truck.
Yeah. But meanwhile, your business is like
shit like that.
Your business is like cutting hair. Yeah. You're like, why do you need a truck?
Well, I move the chair around in the neighborhood. I seatbelt them into it while I'm cutting the hair. Get my husband to drive the truck. So you
advertising
wind in your hair while you fucking blow dry it.
There's a lot of trucks by me. It's like a lot of, but like every time I see one, it's like a commercial vehicle. It's like someone has. But there's a lot of people with boats. There's always like people towing boats and stuff.
Yeah, like if you have a boat, how are you supposed to move it? You need a truck.
Well, that could be like a
why do you have a boat? Well,
I'm not advocating. I'm just playing devil's advocate. But I think you could be like, well, it's a luxury because you're a big wig that has a fancy boat and you're lugging it around. Tax,
Exactly. That's where it's devious. Because that's when they're starting to say everybody's got luxuries and we're going to tax the shit out of everything. And it's like
that's why some dogs don't have tails. Do you ever hear about this?
Sure, it's a luxury that you live in the United States. So tax the shit out of it. It's like, what?
Well, apparently, like I don't know where it comes from, but apparently, if you had a dog with a tail, like the king or whatever, would tax you because that's a fancy luxury dog. Yeah. But if your dog was like a herding dog and part of the farm, to show that, you would cut the dog's tail off, and that was like, this is a working dog, they call it. Yeah. And then you wouldn't get taxed. And that's why it'll
never make it in the show.
It's like a style to like have the dog's tail cut because it goes back hundreds of years. But that's why some dogs don't have tails because they didn't want to get taxed. Not the dog. The dog can't pay tax. The dog doesn't have any income. The people, the owners, would pay tax. Dogs don't have any pockets, so they can't hold money. That's why they don't pay taxes.
Because they don't have an opposable thumb.
Well, they have it, but it's like here.
Yeah, exactly.
They got 4 up here, and then they got a thumb over here. Some comedian said that's so they can crochet. They can make a blanket.
That's so that they can rub their eye sometimes.
Mac the dog sit next to me. Mac, let me see you do claw, buddy. I didn't have time because I was gonna put a second camera up. I have a second camera lying around, and it's an older camera, and it's only like 720, but that's fine because I have free StreamYard and it's 720. Even the paid version 720, bastard. You have to go to the 3rd tier, and then you get high def.
Are you gonna do like a Louder with Crowder where you have a camera that's just pointed at the dog?
I was gonna do a Mac dog camera, and then I was gonna switch it in OBS. I don't know if I didn't tell you up top. I figured out. I said it, but no one appreciates. But you would. The reason I was having problems last week is because OBS was killing my computer. It turns out every time I added a movie to it, like the scene business, even though it's not visible, it's playing in the background, and it was just killing my computer. I had like 40. I had Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas was still running, so that like all of that just killed it.
What did you do to stop it?
I cleaned out everything because before it was just sitting there. And even if the eyeball was off, it was still running and eating up CPU time.
You got to go into the properties of the video in the thing, like how you can double click on it. And it'll show you properties.
Oh, there's an option in it.
Yeah, if you go in there, you can. It's one of the check marks at the bottom. It's telling you want it to loop forever, and then underneath that it says something like, do you want it to play till it's done and then end, or do you want it to like loop?
I like that. I don't know if it's just my computer. Other people complained about this, but they said when you add a video to the preview and you go to preview and it doesn't play, if you go to properties and you check or uncheck one of those boxes, then it shows up. And it was like a weird bug, and that was the workaround. So some of my videos I do have that checked, and some I don't, depending on if they showed up. Yeah. For whatever buggy reason.
I think you can have it loop forever, you can have it play once and end, or you can have it stop every time you turn it off. Like if you make the eyeball go away, it'll just stop playing.
Yes.
And then when
I turned the eyeball off and it was still playing
from the beginning.
It was just running. Klaatu was running in the background.
Exactly. It's just like totally eating every piece of RAM you got.
My CPU was at 100%, and that's what I didn't think to look at it. Which was bad because, the first thing you do as an IT guy is you go to Task Manager, and I didn't do that. So, joke's on me. But I assumed it was my connection.
Your browser will do that too. Your browser, everything is in that one tab. It's running a lot of shit. But if you open, say 5 tabs, they are each opening, even though they're a tab, they're still opening all their own stuff. Like it was an open web thing. So you're making 5 connections, and they're all streaming back and forth. Because you know how they want to put cookies and they want to see what you're doing and shit. So they all start spying on you at the same time. And fucking your computer just goes, I can't handle this shit.
There's too many people watching.
Yeah. My computer couldn't handle doing video stuff on Odyssey at first. That's why I haven't
Odyssey,
been back.
What's that?
It's it's based off a library. Oh, jeez. That's nice. He's got the crazy ass 90s rap video shit in the background.
I don't remember where I got this from. I was like, oh, this is a good background.
You could probably, if you took a lot of time, you could actually make his mouth go with rap songs and shit, and making it like he's singing the rap.
That's way too labor intensive.
They're getting pretty good with the program I got now. Just when I do the Money in the Bank with Mr. Money, it's gonna look really nice with the way I've got shit setting up.
Oh yeah, I meant to yell at you about that. I was looking at my calendar, like it was on. Oh no, I take it back. It's on a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, I thought, maybe I was looking at the month of June because it was on a Thursday. I was like, oh, you bastards, a live stream on Thursday, you sons of bitches.
I think it's like June 2nd.
Yeah, I'm looking at a calendar. It's Saturday. I was looking at, July 2nd. I was looking at June 2nd, which was the Thursday.
Yeah. Sorry, July 2nd. There we go. Yeah.
I was gonna say I want to fight Money AD.
And then they've already started picking people for the next pay-per-view. I forget when that one is, which one it is. SummerSlam. It's August sometime.
Oh, this isn't going to be like a weekly thing. This is just you covering.
We've done a few of them already. Like we started off with the day one pay-per-view. We did Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I'm not like a wrestling guy. Otherwise, I was thinking of trolling Money, but I figured he wouldn't appreciate that. Like if I was like gonna troll his wrestling stuff.
I don't think he'd care if he showed up on that.
Maybe I'll come in as a wrestler. Maybe I'll come in as Hulk Hogan or something.
Well, in those streams, it's me and him doing like play-by-play of the pay-per-view. So like we don't show the match, but we're reacting to the match. So people that are watching the match can play us in this and hear us reacting. Like
that's actually pretty cool.
And we have like graphics that we put up for the matches to show who's getting in the match. And I'm actually getting pretty good at these things.
Yeah, I would troll that. That's wrestling. That would be a dick move to troll that. That's kind of, if it was just everyone hanging out talking about wrestling.
Every now and then we'll let people in at the end for like 15-20 minutes if they want to come in and chat about it. But we try to keep it to what the show is about, not about all other stuff. Like sometimes people want to come in and talk about other stuff like drama and shit, and it's like this is a wrestling.
MK will come in and just kill it.
Actually,
MK's a panel killer.
I think he has a lot of fun with that.
And I was gonna say Blue Lion is, but not because Blue Lion will usually come in, say a couple things, and then he'll just sit in the background.
Yeah, he puts his mic on mute and just sits there like he's either not watching or he's sleeping.
And you just kind of forget about him.
Or he's watching someone else's stream on another TV.
Yeah, like I think I kicked like he did that with me, and someone else wanted to come in, and I just boop, I just booted him.
Yeah,
like I didn't even say anything
because he wasn't even there.
He was like for an hour he was just sitting there. I'm like, oh, just gave it away. No offense, Blue Lion, I love you, buddy.
He's like,
not like that though. Just
at least he knows to mute his mic before he starts snoring. I'm not so hot at that.
That was good.
It's almost happened a few times to me again recently.
I thought that was a joke because it was. I'm like he's playing some snoring thing on repeat just to fuck with everybody. Because it was like if you had to make a professional sound effect of snoring,
good, yeah.
That's how good your snoring was. It was like,
it's exactly like the fucking.
It was almost like.
Yeah.
It's like nobody really snores like that, Like I usually snore like every 3 minutes. I go. And then it's not like a rhythmatic. You have this perfect rhythm. I'm like, this is a recording. He's not really snoring. Get out of here.
I was pissed drunk and I was face down on the mic.
So you were in the garage.
Just passed out in a fucking computer chair with my head held up by the microphone. It was right on my forehead, holding me up.
You're lucky you didn't freeze there. I just imagine it's an unfinished garage.
I woke up like nothing happened. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, just like DSP when he fucking was jerking off and realized he was still streaming. I was just like, oh fuck, I'm still streaming. Oh shit. Have a good night, everybody, or day, or what fucking time is it? Holy shit, man! Fuck.
Oh, is this still on?
Yeah, I was like, oh.
Were you paying for StreamYard at the time because it must have eaten up all your because you get like 20 hours, right? Well, you probably have multiple accounts, I think.
No, I've never paid for it. I just like right now I'm with Money AD stuff, so I've got access to his channel. He's got access to mine.
Yeah, I know that you guys were sharing.
He pays. I think he's probably on tier 3, tier 2 or tier 3, probably maybe tier 2.
Tier 3 is the dream.
He's got 10 people in the panel, and he's got a lot of stuff he can do.
1080p is like the big deal with that.
Yeah, I don't know if I think he's level 2.
Yeah.
So you can get 10 people on the panel, and
I wish it was the other way. I wish it was instead of going normally it's free is 6, and then it's. If you pay, it's 10 people, but still 720, And then the third tier is 10 people. 10. I wish it was the second tier was 6 people, 1080. That would be worth it to me. I'd rather have the resolution than the 10 fucking people. But I guess high def is like.
When they show it to you the monthly price, it doesn't look that bad, but they don't charge you the monthly price as far as I know. They're like, give us the whole year, and you're like, wow, okay, that's a big bill then.
Yeah, I would do the whole year just to save a couple bucks, but it's still I'm spending way too much already. I just bought another light because I'm actually kind of bummed because there was actually it looks better down here where I'm pointing. It was like getting a little fuzzy because the light wasn't hitting, so I got another light, but it's still a little fuzzy. I know I'm the only person that notices it, but it drives me crazy.
I'll bet you anything you can probably get one of those. They have those. What are they called? Like a glow ring.
Yeah, I have 2 of those, and I have them above my. Like I'm looking at a TV screen, and above
Walmart
it.
Ones though. So like.
I got super cheap. They were like garbage.
I think you
got. I think I could just play with them more, and it'll be fine. But I had no.
They're supposed to be a lot closer to you, I think.
Yeah, there may be. I don't know.
They're supposed to throw like a solid light, so that no matter what it hits, it's kind of giving the same light to everything. So
yeah, I have an overhead light, a light bulb on a thing, and then I got these 2 eyeball things. It's all right. I'm the only one who notices it over here. I could probably play with the transparency.
You gotta knock down a couple walls. You gotta take out the ceiling a bit so you can raise it up. So you
put that weird foam all over the walls. So
No, go all full Alex Jones. You gotta have like a desk made from a carpenter and shit.
Yeah.
With like popsicles moving across it.
I'll have a desk like that. You were playing that comedy. I don't know who that dude was. The comedy you were playing, where somebody slaps the desk. Like the guy has a flimsy desk because every now and again a guest will punch it, so it just breaks dramatically.
Yeah.
I'll get like a balsa wood desk, so my guest will just karate chop it in half, and it makes for dramatic.
Now you gotta buy a new desk.
But even when no one's destroying his desk, when he puts a drink on the desk, you see it kind of buckle and stuff because they just they threw it to for the video. They just put it back to where it was, and it's all
throw people across it and shit, and it all gets busted into pieces. It's like a wrestling desk.
I'll just get a cheap desk, but I'll get like 12 cheap desks, so my guest can destroy it. It'll make for dramatic.
I can't remember what that guy's name is. I know Hannibal Buress is in there with him, but I don't know what it's Eric something. The guy that's behind the desk.
Yeah, rapping while doing obstacle course is actually pretty funny.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
It's a good concept. They had like mouse traps, like that shit.
They
hurts.
put the dirty underwear too. It's got a big shit stain on it, and it goes right in your face as soon as they walk through the curtain. It's like, what the fuck? Get that out of my face.
They must have not been like they must have been like not really, because mouse traps will fucking hurt you if you ever get like zapped by a mouse trap.
I think one of the dudes was wearing like flip flop kind of shoes too.
Yeah, that shit hurts.
Get it across your toe, you could probably fucking break a toe. Like if you got the pinky toe in there, snap.
Yeah.
I wonder if they
I was watching some I was watching some like do it yourself mouse like trap thing, and there was one. It was like all it was a row of these things that like the mouse smells the bait and it sticks his head in this little and then something happens. So the video was just these mouse go to like one of the random holes, and then the body just goes and then they're stuck there, and then the next mouse goes to it's almost like urinals in a bathroom. It's like, oh, here's an empty one.
There's only one left.
At the end of the night, it's just like them all. Oh, look, they're all dead in the thing. I'm like, oh.
You imagine the last mouse is there's like two mice left, and the one mouse is like,
they
fuck off,
they never catch on.
It's like, fuck off, I haven't eaten in 2 days. Get out of here.
They never catch on. They're like, oh, Bill's dead, Gary's dead, Larry's dead. Oh, get a clue, mouse. Come on. They're just food. Mice are just food for bigger animals. That's their whole. Rabbits too. That's their whole existence in life, is just so something else can eat them.
That happened once with. I was watching a friend's band get ready to jam and shit, and the guy fucking accidentally broke off his ground for his amp. You know, it's like usually it has 3 prongs. One's a ground, and then you got the 2 prongs that go in.
Yeah.
I guess he stepped on it or something and broke the ground off and didn't realize it. So it was just the 2 prongs, and when he stuck it in, he cranks up the amp and he goes to play. Fucking sparks come flying off his hands. He was like Ted Nugent, man. He's like, ah!
It's like Ace Frehley.
Oh my god, it was hilarious. And then fucking he's like, it just shocked me. And the other guy's like, bullshit. He's like, it just fucking shocked me. He goes, give it to me. He puts it on. Does the exact same fucking thing. And the third guy comes walking in the room, and the guy goes, this guitar just shocked the two of us. He's like, fuck off. He puts it on. Third guy, and I'm standing there watching. He hands it to me. You try. I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah, that's like people that's like, this smells terrible. Smell it. It's like, I believe you. I believe the guitar shocked you.
Fuck off. What are you doing?
The guy
shit in a cup.
We were watching that, like, the guy that does he shocks himself with electricity all the time. He did that. He made a guitar, and it was just he had like the two wires from a wall outlet going right to the guitar, and he went like sparks. Then he shows his hand like shaking, like that's all you see.
Like it's all black with like singeing skin.
But he had a guitar with 4 strings, and it was like 2 of the strings were hot. That was the whole thing.
Fuck. No doubt.
Could watch that guy all day. How is he not dead? Maybe he knows what he's doing.
And he doesn't hit the floor either. He keeps trying to play the song. He's like,
he must even though you plug it into a wall outlet, he must like have it. It must be a certain voltage, so it's enough to dramatically shock, but not to kill him. He must know what he's doing a little bit.
He's a professional electrician. Shocking himself for fun.
Well, I think he's like an engineer or something. So it's like, what are you doing?
You should see the dildos I made.
They're gonna like strip him of his electrical whatever because he's irresponsible. You can't be an electrician like shocking.
You're no longer in the Brotherhood of Electricians.
Yeah, whatever they have. Masons? Do they have an electrical mason thing?
Yeah, they got the Brotherhood.
Oh, I meant to talk to Slippery. I was watching Beyond Thunderdome. Remember Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome? Yeah. So the guy they're in Thunderdome, and they have the announcer guy.
Yeah.
That guy has a Mason thing on his neck. And I meant to like say, Slippery, is that guy? Is that how you get in?
Yeah, he's in my lodge.
The guy who's like, you know him, you love him, it's Master Blaster. That dude is a Mason.
Yeah.
Or he killed a Mason and he's wearing a pin because it's post-apocalyptic, whatever. Oh, I looked it up because the description of my show this week was I said in my the thumbnail for the show this week, it has Who Run Bartertown, which is from Mad Max. If anyone, you probably get it. No one else got it. It's fine. I realize my humor goes over everyone's head because I'm so
hero.
Tina Turner crazy.
Yeah.
They don't make movies like that anymore. And the little dude was like a musical artist too. They had like it was Tina Turner, and then she had a henchman who was like a short guy with the doll thing over him. He had like a doll up here.
Yeah.
That dude is like some kind of musical guy in Australia. Anyway.
Oh man, that's a funny.
It was the '80s. It was a crazier time.
What do you think?
Anyway,
of the new one they made?
I think I'm wrapping up. Oh, that was genius. That was a great movie.
Where he's like, stay chrome.
Yeah.
He's like spraying his teeth with the
Witness me! Witness him! It's great.
Oh, fuck.
They're supposed to be making a Furiosa movie soon.
They're all.
I think they're filming it.
They're all running around with like their steering wheel with them all the time. I guess that's how nobody would steal their car because nobody had a steering wheel. They all had the steering wheels off. That
was the thing for a while, I think.
Yeah, a lot of people did that.
I vaguely remember that in the '80s.
Quick release. Then there
was a lot of
would just get a quick release.
On Long Island, it was like a stereotype. There were like a lot of Italian guys, and they would have like a relatively inexpensive car, but they would buy all the stuff for it. They had the sticker and the fins and a neon light and all this stuff, but it was like not a great car. But they spent all the money on it.
Like
but those guys would have the removable steering wheel. But now you walk around with a steering wheel.
Yeah, it should be foldable. You should be able to put it in a bag, like a collapsible cane or something. Fold it all up into just like a little handle to hold your bag.
No, because then you'd be driving and it would fold up on you.
I guess you can't do that anymore, because of the airbags and shit.
What, the removable? Oh yeah, because the airbag is the steering wheel. Yeah.
Yeah. That must be why you don't see it anymore.
Those guys were probably like, "Oh, airbags are for pussies." You know, they would just have the,
like,
or they would have,
they would have
the racing, like they would have the racing, you know, seatbelts that go like this. You know, they go like a central thing
with roll bars in it.
Yeah, like you press a thing and it pops out like from 4 different ways.
It's like a roller coaster fucking seat thing.
I had a friend like that. Again, going back to like 1993 or something like that. He's like, "Oh, I'll give you a ride home." And I'm like, okay, and I get in the guy's car, and he it's not a great car, but he's putting on racing gloves.
Oh no.
He's doing it. I'm just looking at him like, I live like 3 miles away. When he's like, I gotta, you know, my car. Like, okay.
We're gonna be there in 30 seconds.
That was the first and last time I ever drove with that guy, because it's like I can't. It's like he's getting in his like Ford Taurus, and he's putting on. Got to put on. You know, had like the holes for the knuckles for some reason, whatever that is.
Ford Focus. It's my favorite car in fucking Gran Turismo, man.
It's for the grip, so I can hold my. It's like I live 3 miles away, Dave, or whatever the guy's name is.
There's like a turn along the way. I gotta hang on to that wheel. I always found Fords to be like
people watching. Anytime you get in a car and someone puts on driving gloves, just make an excuse to get out of the car.
Well, I put them on every day when I drive the company vehicle. So then I don't get someone else's fucking dirt all over me.
Oh, yeah. Someone's, like, they're wiping their ass, they're sneezing, they're coughing.
I've, like, they're not racing gloves, but they're mechanics gloves. Just something between me and the steering wheel.
Yeah, a barrier between you and the nastiness.
I don't need to be wearing big work gloves while I'm driving the vehicle.
When no one's looking, I would take, like, a sanitary wipe and just go...
Yeah, it's hard to get to even fucking get them to do maintenance on it sometimes.
All right, I'm wrapping it up. 11:40.
Oh, you almost made it to 12.
And your time.
Yep.
Yeah, the wife comes home at midnight, so I try to clean up before she comes home.
Pick up all the solo cups. I don't know what you were mixing, but it looked like you were making some kind of margarita or some shit earlier.
No, I was trying to struggle. It's. Oh no! Look, it's all green screen.
Is that Arizona?
It's Arizona green tea.
Yeah.
With my patented background. Apparently, it's green enough.
From like Price Club or something.
This is a bit because I was like, I'm taking my invisible iced tea and putting it in my invisible cup.
You can't get that at like the corner store. Where'd you get that? It's like a Price Club thing or something.
This stuff?
Costco.
Oh, it's everywhere. Maybe it's just a Canadian thing. Every 2 feet.
We get the cans, and the cans are massive. And
the only reason I got it is because it tastes kind of like iced tea, but it's less sugar. And my wife is a nurse, and she wants me to live forever. So she's like,
it's caffeine though.
Yeah, it's caffeine, and there's a little bit of sugar. I can't sugar like sugar-free stuff is like loaded with cancer-causing chemicals, so don't drink that shit. So I'm like,
bug shit.
Yeah, I have like a little bit of sugar, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is Dan King's Iced Tea Hour. Thanks for joining.
Sipping tea, spilling it with Dan. Sipping some.
Yeah, I think once I was drunk on it. Wally's always talking about these guys getting drunk. One time I think I was doing your thing and I had 2 Guinnesses. That's like a lot for me if I have 2.
Yeah.
I know it's like an old man drink, a Guinness. You know, who drinks Guinness?
Well, it's an acquired taste.
But I like that, you know. It's like drinking a loaf of bread, Guinness. It's like
I thought you were gonna say sucking on a mouthful of pennies.
no, I like it.
It's got a really coppery taste to it, but you don't drink it fast because of that. You sip it. You don't do it. It's like a beer that's fine at room temperature.
You got to fill your mouth with it and then suck it down. Yeah. That's how you drink a Guinness. You got to
try to stay off the foam.
Yeah. Foam's fine. Foam's part of it. It's all part of it. It's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
But I know it's like whenever I order one around people, they're like, "What are you, 60 years old?" It's like, well,
no,
actually,
but
almost.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
This is how you get 60 years old. You get yourself a Guinness.
I was with an IT place, and it was like me and the boss were about the same age, and then it was like a bunch of kids. So like and he was a Guinness guy too, so we would get Guinness, and like the millennials were like drinking White Claws. Like, what are you doing? Like, fuck you. I drink what the boss drinks. You take note. That's what I should have said.
Is that the big deal now, White Claws? I hear it every now and then, and I see it. It's just like a plain white can.
Yeah, I've only seen like kids drinking it. Like I've been to the beach with my kid, and there's guys standing out in the water and they're drinking
a whole bunch of king cans of that
little
shit.
cans.
Oh, the little ones.
And I see, yeah, they're it's the size of a Red Bull. It's like that. It's like marketed as like a little thin can.
Oh, jeez.
Little dainty can,
Here they're tall, and they're like the same circumference of a beer can, but they're like twice the size.
Oh, I've seen those too.
Yeah, that's all.
Like they're like marketed different sizes. It's bizarre to me. Like I don't get it. It's like, but maybe it's like women drink thinner. I don't know what it is. It's like a weird marketing thing. Who knows?
Yeah, it's because it's when you're holding a beer can, you're putting your hand about as much around it as you can, and you're not really touching your fingers. Well, they want it for little hands.
Little people like drink it.
Young people. It's marketed to people with little hands.
Yeah, but you have to be 21. So, like, how much more are you gonna grow?
Oh man, your hands are way bigger now than they were when you were 21.
I think like 23. That was it. My biology. I was like, you're done.
I always thought that too. I was like, man, I got these little hands, and then like a really young person comes up to me like, man, I wouldn't want to fight with you. You got those huge fucking ham hock hands. I'm like, what?
And then you punched him.
No, then I'm
You're
like, put your hand up. So I put my hand up, and I'm like, put your hand on there. And his fingers were so short. I was like, holy shit, you're right. My hands are fucking huge.
Maga Man has big meat. I think his hands are big, but he's got like these little. Looks like he's got little short fingers. He's got like these like sausage fingers. Maga Man. He does the white power thing every now and again just for fun.
Was that her nickname for him? She's chicken nugget toes and he's sausage fingers.
My little sausage fingers.
Oh no.
She goes. This little piggy went to the market. This little.
No. You almost have a whole Happy Meal there.
Ask Wally about it. God, the stories she must have. Baby mama, come on the show. I know Wally gave you the link to my channel for some reason.
Chicken nugget toes, sausage fingers, and McDonald's French fried dick.
Like what in his? Why do you think he gave her the link to my channel? What is?
Asking for trouble.
Because I make fun of him and she's gonna feel bad. I think that's I try to get in Wally's head every now and again, which is frightening. But I'm like, what would be the motivation to like show?
That's a good question.
I think also like he was trying to make it like he was trying to make it. He made a video. He's like, I even sent her the links to these men's channel, meaning me and Kevin, and I was like, what is the motivation for that? But I'm guessing also he's like. These are the men that did the Craigslist ad, which we're not. We don't even know what he's talking about.
Which you repeatedly say over and over in the videos that he's directing her to, so I don't know how that's going to work out in his favor. Like, she's going to start showing her dad these videos, too. Where everybody's, like, making fun of him not cutting the grass and fucking...
Well, we also talk about how Wally talks shit about her family. So, what do you think...
Like, you don't know her family, right? But all this shit that you guys can talk about that family would make the family watching the videos go, how the fuck do all these strangers know everything about what the fuck happened here?
I think they know, and they just... I think they're 100% aware of Wally's channel, because he sent them links. I'm sure his mom knows. I'm sure, like, Wally's like, send this link to her.
Well, and he tries to... shit. Like, he's fucking doxed them. Like, there's legal actionable shit there.
That was one of my, like, Wally says I send him a threatening emails. One of my threats was, I'm going to tell her family that you do this on YouTube. And then, like, he was like, I would, because, like, the woman gets, like, enough shit from him.
Didn't you threaten that, and then he goes and does it himself so that you can't do it?
I like, again, maybe that's part of his thing, but initially I was like,
I'll tell you were going to for sure.
My threat was, I'll tell her to report you because you put pictures of her and her kids up, and it's a privacy thing. How about I do that, asshole? He doxed her. I'm like, I know everything about her from you. Like, how do I know? Like,
that's what I mean. Like, they're gonna be like, I don't know what her dad's name is, but he's probably would watch some of that and be like, "What the fuck? Are you kidding me? This shit's all over the fucking world now." Like,
yeah, they could totally like.
Can you imagine her parents? You imagine her parents start a YouTube channel to fucking refute him and shit.
Well, I reviewed it a couple weeks ago. He made a video on he was like, yeah, he got drunk all the time, and I had to go with her.
That's
and
what I mean. Yeah,
we had to like that's okay.
That's
can you prove that? Because otherwise, you know, the guy who's always jumping around defamation. It's like that's defamation unless you can prove it.
Pretty fucking defaming. The only thing is, there's no damages because nobody watches it. But
right,
it'd be more damaging to bring him to court because you got to pay for a lawyer and shit.
Well, he's not a details guy, so he's not thinking that far ahead.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of this dumb show. And tomorrow I'll try to join you on your dumb show.
Yeah, you should, man, because the last couple of weeks have been fucking pretty wild.
Didn't I
fucking extremely wild.
I came in last week. Oh yeah, we did Zelda last week. Everyone thought I was playing Zelda.
Yeah.
Which was another video that was eating up my CPU process. 2-hour video of Zelda.
High definition too.
Yeah, like dumb. Like again, my computer was like help every time I load up OBS.
Like, that's to say you're just falling into the same mistakes that I made when I first started. That's what I'm saying. Like the more you do it, the more you're gonna learn.
Well, like I said, I want to kick myself because like Task Manager is like the first thing you do as an IT guy, and I was like, oh, it must be my connection because my kid was here and it started happening, and like I didn't think to open up Task Manager. Like duh.
The best is when you can actually have the time to set up the room and set up all the stuff long before it's gonna start, so that you just have to chill and wait for it to happen. As opposed to like you just get off work and you're like, fuck, I want to start this thing right up now. And then
that was today. I had to like come down here and I was setting up lights and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like me, it was a few weeks ago when I got this fucking boom. I'm like, I need a mic for tonight, and so instead of just using the mic on the old stand like I was doing before, I had to put the fucking arm up, and then it was like,
did it crash during the show?
No.
Oh, that would have been good if you would all of a sudden you heard bang.
But of course,
I mean, it would have been good for your microphone.
It complicated right before the show, and it's like, it's the worst time to try to do something new.
Yes, you do something new, right? Like, yeah, exactly.
And then Windows is like, I want to do an update, and it's like, fuck, tell the thing to stop before it fucking turns off.
A couple days ago, I'm like, I'm gonna figure out this problem, and I did like a test live stream, and that's when I was like, oh, it's like every time I closed the movie, there was less and less CPU being used. I'm like, oh, duh, stupid. Anyway, live and learn. Anyway, I'm really closing up. This is it.
Next time I talk to you, I'll tell you the channel that I told True Sherm about. There's a guy that teaches you nice and slow what you want to know. He'll get.
Oh, is it something Junior?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I found that guy. It's like Michael something. It's like his name.
He's really good.
He's got a Predator statue behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where I have it saved every time now I know how to do it, but every time I was setting up this business, like I'd have to follow his step-by-step thing.
Yeah, and then once you do it a couple times, it's like it's memorable.
Yeah.
Can you just put that picture up before you leave?
Oh, let's see.
Just because we have to. There's one more RIP for the Mega Army. Got caught down in Mexico fucking around.
There was a meme going around. It was a wolf, or it was some kind of predator, and it had in its mouth was a dead monkey, and clinging to the dead monkey was like the baby, and the baby was alive, like looking at the camera, like and it's like terrible, but at the same time you're like laughing because people would put like words over like me, my job, something I don't remember what it was, but it was like the baby is still like mom, and like mom is like
what's
lunch.
Happening? Is this a party?
But that's like this monkey was like, this is my human friend that I cling to. Poor monkey. The word monkey's a funny word. It just rolls off the tongue. Funny.
Say, get me out of here, Jorge.
He's like this.
It's like, hands up, don't shoot.
Yeah.
No, he's already gone. He's wearing a little bulletproof vest. So much good it did him.
We're laughing at the poor monkey. Next to a pile of buckets. Like, look at like underneath it. What is that? Like, that looks like a stack of buckets.
Yeah, that must have been the shit.
What's the story there?
The guy was carrying the buckets, and the monkey was hanging on for his life.
That's where the guy put he was putting the diapers in the bucket, and he got shot. They're like, Ralph, it's your monkey. You clean out the diaper bucket.
I don't know what's beside the monkey's head, though. There's like 2 yellow things beside his head.
It's hard to see.
At first, I thought he was wearing like an army helmet or something.
Maybe it's just the guy's neck.
Like, this is the mascot for the gang or some shit. It's little Jorge. They're like, they got little Jorge.
Why wasn't the diaper camouflage? Like, it just seems like you're gonna camouflage the top and then have a big white target. It's a bad idea.
But the guy wasn't wearing a diaper and shit himself. But he was like, fuck, I wish I had a diaper like the monkey.
Like, bringing a monkey into combat's a good idea, but you should camouflage his diaper. That's the bad idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going. It's almost midnight.
Get the guy with the fucking monkey.
Getting this monkey shit off my channel. All right, man.
Have a good one, man.
All right, man. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll kick you out. Ready? Here you go.
Yeah.
And... Okay, he's gone with his monkey's nonsense. And that's it, everybody. Good show. Oh, maybe I'll play my outro. I gotta find it. If I was smart, I would have had it queued up. My outro is Wally's outro. I love it. It's my favorite thing. And that's it. So I'll see you guys next week, I guess. Either Thursday or Wednesday, whatever day I decide, because I can do whatever the fuck I want with my show. Anyway, this show is over.
This video ends now.
Bye!